back to another round of Zabinga. Jeez, what a shit show. If you only knew what we just went through to get this thing to work.
I have a feeling people have an idea.
For all you assholes out there that get mad about this show and the technical quality of it, it does suck. I agree with that because we are in charge of it. Let our dipshit dumbasses.
We are technical difficulty.
Yes, we are. Literally a rolling technical
Welcome
difficulty.
to the stage. It's technical difficulty.
Welcome to the stage. Dude, I had my big ass speaker. I brought Kyle and Jeff Travis. We went up to Red Bull Non-Stock 600 up in Charlotte. And I had a ginormous ass speaker, the one I showed y'all. And I didn't get to do it, but I was going to welcome. Let's give a warm Speaker City welcome to Jeff Travis. Thinking of a master plan, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome Christina and Chris.
Denny.
Yep.
Yeah. From the local establishment Roost MX.
Among the many hats they wear.
Denny Designs.
For
all
yep.
your business needs. And let's see. AMA. Hold on.
Female athlete, spokesmodel, sharpshooter, triple jump,
coordinator for Team USA.
Golden Gloves 89-90.
Talent scout.
You have a position. Has it been
What is the actual name of your
on
position,
the,
Christina?
global scale?
At the AMA,
Yeah,
a rider representative.
there it is.
Rider rep.
Rider rep.
Rider rep for short.
But
Hell
for
yeah.
Team USA, you are the team coordinator.
Team coordinator.
Is the global position announced? No,
Yeah,
it is.
kind of. Yeah, you can talk. We can talk about
Kind
it.
of just okay.
We can talk about it.
So she's worldwide. She's just
Worldwide,
like Speaker City.
wide.
Global position.
Wide,
Yeah, she's a
wide.
global position.
I've never heard of that one.
She has a global position.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
Worldwide, wide.
No, we're
I thought we were all saying our favorite position, and you said global, and I was like, I have no
that kind
idea
of
what this
position.
is.
My bad. Yeah, you guys.
Are we telling everybody our
you don't
favorite
know about
position?
global? Oh, dude,
I haven't tried that. I've
That's
never
a
been
new
out. I hadn't been out of the country.
We
so
totally went global there at the end. It was
Reverse
insane.
cowgirl is kind of my thing. I like being the reverse cowgirl, which is tricky
Yeah,
to
that
be a
is
guy.
an odd maneuver.
Yeah. So welcome to Winners Take Y'all. We just had a massive, we hit a false neutral, if you will. We started the show, great energy, had to redo it. And
Missed
here
a
we
gear.
are. Here we are.
Front end dropped.
Second time around. So
We leaned it back. We shifted up twice, held it wide open, and it still ended.
perfect. Nicely done.
Yeah, my volume's down. I know it is.
Talk. Just talk.
I'm trying to talk, Evan. I just feel like no one listens.
You
Whenever
said
I
it. I didn't
talk.
say it.
That's better.
You think
I got
so?
you wide open, buddy.
Lying.
I got you wide open. Wide.
Okay, so what's the global position that we're announcing tonight? Wide
First,
open.
Can we discuss your full name? Is the rumor true that your middle name, your full name,
Mike Tyson.
Christina Aguilera Denney?
Tyson.
Why would your parents name you
Tyson
Aguilera?
Denney.
So
You were correct,
Yes.
Tyson Denney.
Did you watch that shit show of a fight,
I
by the
didn't
way?
watch it. I
we'll
couldn't-
talk
I
about
did.
that. We can talk about it. I did not watch
I
it.
did.
And I'm a huge fight fan. Kevin and I both are fight fans.
I just want to laugh. I don't
I
wanna
couldn't
fight.
watch it because I'm not sure if Jake Paul's fights are rigged.
Oh, you're not.
I'm not. I mean,
I don't think that fight was rigged, but the other two before it were fantastic.
those
Legit
were great,
fights.
but
The first one sucked. Tyson fight sucked.
I
Anyway,
didn't
did y'all
want
watch
to
it?
I
Did
didn't
y'all
want
watch
to
it?
see. And this is
I was
controversial with
fired
people
up
our
for it,
age.
but-
I was too. I was hyped up. Did it buffer like a mother?
Oh, exactly.
I like everybody. God dang it.
I was a little more of a realist. I'm a fight guy. I just don't think that. Like, I didn't want to see an old man get beat up.
And you, I mean, he didn't get knocked out, but he wasn't. Paul's not a great
Going at
boxer.
each other
Listen,
as if they
he's
were
been rode hard and put up wet. Forget the boxing and all the training. He's partied, drugs. Like, he's an old 58.
Yeah,
I mean, he was
Nick,
like he should be 78.
Nick can speak to that.
I mean, he
Partying, the drugs, rode
No,
hard.
because Nick is a very young for your age.
58.
78. Yeah.
Whatever he is. Whatever he is.
So I was just concerned. Listen, and I grew up in Atlanta. So if you grew up in Atlanta and you were into boxing, you weren't really a Tyson fan. You were a Holyfield guy because Holyfield boxed on our local boxing scene. Like I knew him. Was excited because somebody local went to the Olympics in '84. So I was always pulling for Holyfield. Now,
I love Tyson. God, I loved him.
But you always had to go to the Tyson pay-per-view parties. At
I
somebody's
did.
house.
I did.
oh yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
brought back all the
Yeah.
nostalgia.
Yep.
I'll tell you something interesting. Now, Holyfield drummed Tyson, which I was a Holyfield fan, was good before he bit his ear. But I was at an event one time with Evander. I wasn't with Evander Holyfield. He was there at the same time I was, and he found out I was a local kid, and we wound up talking and stuff. This is a few years ago. And so everybody that came up and talked to him, they want to talk about Tyson fight, biting your ear, Tyson fight. And so a guy comes up and says, hey, did you think you were going to be able to beat Mike Tyson? You know, this, that, and the other. And so the guy walks off, and I just kind of laughed. And Holyfield had kind of found a little solace with me because I wasn't like fanboying him, you know what I mean? But
unlike John, whenever he comes up to Jeff Ford, hey, Jeff Ford, that catch two figures really good in 82 and 83 and 84, and then they changed for 85, lost that power.
I was just hiding it really well because I was pretty much fanboy. I was trying to cool it down. And he said the only people that knew Mike was going to get his ass whooped that night was me and Mike.
There you go.
And he was like,
I think Mike knew he was going to get his ass beat that night, just past Saturday night as well.
He said, he goes, when we were 16, we got in the ring at Gold Glove stuff. He said, I whooped Mike's ass. He couldn't get out of the corner. Everybody was freaking out. He knew that night. He's like, that's a money grab.
Well, you watch that fight, man. And like I was like, if he doesn't get him in the first 2 rounds, it's over. And it was, he never had any kind of an attack.
But now you watch all the slow motion stuff now. Like Michael Irvin came out and said that it was something in their contract somewhere where Mike couldn't throw uppercuts. He threw 0 uppercuts. And
That's
the uppercut
stupid.
was his punch.
Why would he?
That's what would knock him out, right?
Why
Left to the body, left uppercut with a drop step. That was Mike Tyson.
It's like saying, if me and you race, you cannot jump doubles. You got to roll the jumps.
Yeah.
I get the double.
No clutch.
Stupid.
What if me and you race and you don't jump the doubles?
I don't jump them anyway. So you're
there
good.
we go.
I jumped both
No
of them.
contract
I feel
needed.
better about that deal.
Yeah. So whatever. The fight was whatever, and Netflix has some work to do.
You get
on
what
their
you pay
streaming,
for. Which was 0.
It was. I'm telling you though, the anticipation just rolling
Kevin
up to it.
was
I was
on
hyped, dude.
another level.
I was texting some of my buddies, my moto buddies.
God, I missed this so
I
much.
did.
He was reliving like the Tyson
Nick, you know how
fight.
awesome
I
it was. You're a
do,
boxer.
yes. I used to love, there was nothing, like getting ready for a Tyson fight, even back in the day, was
Days in advance, you're like,
awesome. You know, you'd have everybody over, you watch the fight. I think I got blown out because being a Holyfield fan, about a year ago, he got in a ring with Vitor Belfort, who was a UFC guy, but who was a really good boxer too. And he looked 100 years old and got just knocked out of the ring in a.
I had a thing that it kind of gauged my age, and I remember I was at the Atlanta Supercross. It might have been at Mercedes, might have been at the old one. No, it had to been Mercedes, because it was Wes Williams and Brent Stallo, and I was like, man, I was like late 30s, maybe early 40s. I said, let's race up those stairs, and I just wanted just because I
Don't
felt
get your
quick.
front teeth knocked out.
No, but we all raced, and I was like, damn, and I'm quick for my age. And I was like, there were 4 stairs ahead of me by the end of the deal. I'm like, okay, it's done. It's over.
Well, that's what
It is
keeps
over.
me off the AMA circuit.
Off the circuit.
Off the circuit.
Isn't that weird though?
I
There's
just
like,
don't want to be told.
and I'll
that
say
I'm
this:
old.
we do a thing at the fire department where there are measurables where they measure our they get us on a
Belt
treadmill.
size.
Belt size, sit and reach.
They do some of the
Flex arm, hang.
stretches, the stretch stuff, and like there are
Scoliosis.
measurables that you can look at your stuff and it's all just deteriorating. Oh,
yours.
it's my stuff, and
it's
I get to see
fading
my chart
fast.
every year for 14 years. I'm like, there is a written account of my body going.
failure.
You're done. You are done. It's no shit, man. It's wild.
Kevin, you
Nobody
need to get
needs
to
to
work,
see
son.
this.
That should be, this is a wake up. This is an intervention for you. You got to get to work.
We need to talk.
How
No,
you-
I don't. No, I don't. I'm
We
good.
need to talk.
About
Well, number one, I send you a video about the London Economic Tongue Choir.
oh yeah.
And you didn't even respond. Nick had to write a demerit and put it in your friendship file.
Still don't hear you very good.
I know you don't. I'm coming in on these other mics, and don't
Keep going.
tell me
Keep doing
that
your
this
thing.
ain't on purpose. Trying to keep a man down. More ginger hate.
I think
There's a lot of
think
anti.
it's-
I got you. No.
I think it's just because you,
Hold on.
you gave
Here
it,
it
put a
comes.
demerit in his
Okay,
file.
Kevin's mad because I
No,
put
no,
a
no.
demerit in this
Listen,
file.
I
I
got
hear
you.
me.
You're loud
I hear
now.
me, dog.
I got you at 50. Everybody else was everybody was at 50 and you were at 25.
Again
we
with the
go.
ginger hate. There I go.
That's right.
For the first time in
There you go,
America,
see?
Discrimination.
On the
welcome
fly.
to
Dial in, man.
That's
live
ginger on
ginger hate.
Hey, he's got a tinge of ginger, so that's a ginger on ginger crime we got
It
going
is.
on here.
I don't even know if Kevin has it. I never really saw it, but he claims it, so I let him have
I
it.
had I had redder hair than
Dude,
you.
I was on fire when I was a kid. There was flames shooting out of my skull.
I'll show you some photos of
I
me.
was orange.
I had fire engine red hair. I was redder than that for sure. Straight up gold.
Yeah, but when I
gold.
it was like 24 karat just oozing out of his skull meat. You don't pull up a picture right now, Kevin. We believe you.
No, I'm actually.
He's
gonna-
trying to divert attention.
No, I'm
the
not.
London Economic Tongue Choir.
Hey,
which
so
is-
I want to read this real quick just to get this little housekeeping out of the way.
Oh.
DID is running a Christmas sale at 25% off the website with free shipping until the end of 2024. So you don't have very long, John. This applies to you. Please visit DID's website and use discount code DIDJO2024 for 25% off. I mean,
And you got to get 25% off is good because
Solid.
when you get the
If they
nicest chain
take
they got,
25% off of a chain, there's no way it's going to fit.
that's true. It will be too short, especially if you're
So
running a European.
if you are
sprocket.
looking for this chain, you need to get it 25% longer. So
To
that
then
25%.
get you discount.
There you go.
You get 25% on
There you
your
go.
discount.
The
Get you
discount
back to
code.
starting point, back to square one.
The discount code is DIDJO2024 for 25% off 125% length chain.
Yes,
Don't use our math, but
correct. I mean, that,
Don't
go.
just call and get your discount.
get
That's
your
the main.
stupid discount.
Yes,
But
but
you guys run DIDs, right?
yes, and you got to get the nicest one they have, the gold link, so you look
There
like
you
you're
go.
somebody special.
You know,
Till
every
it
time
gets
I wear
dirty.
out one of the gold ones, I just clean it up real well and I take it down to Atlanta and sell it.
Sells it.
Right, he wears
You know
it
how
around his
expensive a
neck.
gold
Sell it.
motocross
Man,
chain
I don't
is?
want to sell it, but
You
I
go
will.
to Magic City, you'll see like 12 guys with motorcycle like
Wearing
gold.
DIDs.
DID
Yo, man,
motorcycle.
what year's that DOD?
Brand new, baby.
Yeah, it's brand new from the crew.
Hey,
For
so
you to voodoo.
I had a guy ask me, and he's asked me twice now. He goes, "Hey, you did not ask the question on the show last show," and they wanted to know. And you guys, it's great that you're here. They say why or is the donations better overseas versus in America? Is it better? Why is it different? Is it better? What's the difference? Because I don't have any perspective except the one
Let's
I've been
let
to.
the master speak first.
So is
Because
it better?
no
or
one would know
different?
better than Christina Denney.
I would say probably for us to go to Europe, the biggest thing is the fans there and all the countries and how proud they are and how silly they could be, and there's no like they're going to be embarrassed, or it's more or less like how bad or what can we do to really stand out to make our little country, whether it's small or you're in our name in France.
Latvia.
It's
No, not Latvia. I'm thinking of them leprechauns jumping the fence,
They've done that every
doing
year.
cartwheels and freaking somersaults.
They're
They were
buds in that.
athletic little fuckers.
They were.
They were athletic little
I
gingers.
think they were pretty sore the next day too, but
They had to have pulled a hammy.
yeah, I think that. But I mean, obviously, U.S. has amazing fans, and Redbud National is just an example of what that could be. And I think
Is it
over
because
years-
when it's in Europe, it's so much easier for the 15 countries to get there way quicker than it is to go to America? So maybe the energy's just off. It's not any better. The racing's no better, but it's just that energy is just electric with all those countries that are there.
Yeah, I think the energy's there. They're able to get on a train or get on a little boat and just go over. But it's
Boat.
a boat.
Little boat.
They
said-
can
she
take a
said
boat
boat.
to the donations here. They just have to leave earlier.
Yeah.
Great.
And a bigger boat.
Yeah.
Well, going to overseas destinations,
Lean into that thing. Don't worry about it.
it's kind of the culture thing. You go out there, you find all the culture, and
Yep.
so the whole experience all the way around. The U.S. destinations, it's large and it's big and it's like a national on steroids. But go to Europe, it's a whole different ballgame, And
We don't have smoke bombs.
Yeah,
We're not pulling a train horn that has a 30-gallon air tank with a car battery and dual train horns on a set of hand trucks.
and those guys are drinking.
That's
at
just what
8
they
a.m.
bring.
They're smoked.
Chainsaws. Let's take that muffler off and let's hold it right by our ear, wide open. I don't know what, 8 hours, 10
Or
hours.
build a chainsaw with a set of handlebars and a front fender.
Yeah, and just hold it wide open, and then the dude's got gas in his
I was gonna
backpack.
say, how many chainsaws do you see, but you never see gas cans?
They have them in their backpacks.
Yeah, we saw
typically.
them coming in. So could you get into donations here carrying a chainsaw? And
They had them.
They had 'em.
They've had them.
Dude, I
gas
got
can?
pictures of Rhett holding a chainsaw with it, and the dude that handed it to him is wearing American flag little shorty overalls, and it's great, man. There was energy at Redbud.
Yeah.
Both years. One year was the
Where
Mud
is it
Fest.
this year? Where are we going this year?
Crawfordsville.
Iron Man.
In Iron Man.
Iron
yeah.
Man. Okay, so
And with Indianapolis being an international airport, I think we're going to see a lot more international fans too.
I hope so.
I mean, we did at Redbud; they all fly to Chicago, but
That's a 3-hour drive or something
Yeah.
from Chicago. So
we got a 40-minute drive from Indianapolis to go to Ironman.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Those people are passionate, and they're coming wherever the race is.
Yeah, but I feel like you just get more. Like if there's 100 people from Ireland over there's probably 3,000.
Yes.
So it must generate more buzz,
But
more electricity.
there were a bunch of Australians there.
How many Americans do you think were
And
there?
those
If
are-
you had to just throw a crazy
me and
number,
John.
We saw some.
2, 3,
Me and
4?
John and one other couple.
Oh, that's cool.
We did see the couple. Yes,
Yeah.
they were demolished over every single move that happened to Team USA. They
Just
were
hurt so
they were
bad.
either up or they were way down. Back up or back down. You know, they're only watching the Team USA. You know, and I'm over there kind of hoping to get a glimpse. Let's see what Jorge Prado looks like. Let's see. You know, Kaida Wolf. Heck, man.
Kaida Wolf
Dude.
is a bad man, son.
Yeah, he's so stylish and
It makes you respect like all the riders from all over the country because it's easy to get that perspective as America's the best and we're this, that, and other. But when you get to see, I like to see our guys get challenged. I think it's only going to make them better.
well, they've been being challenged.
They
Kevin.
have. They have.
So I'm glad you've been
I'm telling
happy.
you, Kaida Wolf is going to be hell if he comes over here. That cat can so roll.
Well, I mean, how long is the line going to be next year to race for Team America? And not
say-
throwing any shade on anybody, but I think we're not.
I'll
we're
tell you
gonna
how
have our
short
pick.
it was. Christina called me and
I
Nick
know.
and said, "Can y'all suit
Can
up?"
you guys? That's how they were.
And I'm over here
desperate.
stretching and stuff, you know, realizing the
I already
loss
put
of
my
flexibility.
boots on, everything when they showed up. Shit was close.
Christina,
man.
how long is the line gonna be next year?
Everybody wants in.
It's gonna be good. I mean, obviously it's what we want,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
yeah, I think it's gonna be good. We're gonna get an early start on it and kind of really work all year to promote it, and let's see what who
We're
steps
going to
up.
work all year. We've got some ideas.
we do have some ideas. We actually do. Nick's not even joking. We have a couple of ideas of how to help raise money for Team USA. But can we talk about the shift in attitude? There was a lot of years nobody wanted to go, and the tides are turning. And I'm not saying it's easy. Obviously, this past team was very difficult to throw together, but Team USA feels different. Hey, Nick, just take your clothes off. That's every 15 minutes he sheds one article of clothing.
Ooh, we better end
There's
this
a
show.
secret word you said. I don't even tell you what it was, but every time you say it, I take something
so I
off.
said the key word.
Yeah.
Horny.
So I didn't say that word. So, but like this year, Christina had team headquarters, like the nicest trailer office thingy.
Let me tell you what they do have on us. Those damn trailers that they bring. And they're
With the glass
factory
sides.
rigs. Oh, it's like a transformer, man. And it like separates out into a high-rise office building.
Yeah, they
it's
have
the
them Formula
coolest
One,
shit. Like all glass. I mean,
Did you guys notice Triumphs? It's
Yeah.
like slide out with a double stacker. On the
yes.
side.
And that's every week for them. I mean,
How's that
that's-
even possible? That thing's got to weigh 1 million pounds.
It's badass. It literally transforms into like a factory
Yeah.
headquarters. Hondas look so
As
cool.
it should. They dress the part out there in Europe for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
there's
and then
presentations
Alpine
on.
Star.
Yeah.
Did you go in there?
I've been in there last year.
No, I'm talking about in England. Their setup they have
Oh.
in Europe. Did you ever?
In France, I
Oh,
went
yeah,
in
France,
the
you did.
I
Yeah.
went in the Alpine Star, the like
The
la-
sliding
the
doors.
hospitality
Yeah.
thing. Yes,
I mean, that alone is
it's
just
nice.
Next level.
Yeah, I did not do it in England. No.
Same thing, but
I'm trying to talk John into buying one of those trailers for us for just
Come on,
taking-
dude.
Just to
Step it
put
up,
XR
man.
250s in.
Yeah.
Man, they're 86s. We had to do it.
I know.
Right.
We needed that.
I can
We-
already hear the logic.
We need that.
Do you know that these clowns? I went on a cruise and they bought the 3 biggest pieces of junk in history, and like, hey man, while you were gone, we made a decision, and the decision was to race 86 XR 250s at Mid
And
Ohio.
I know it's been but has it not been?
It's been fun.
super fun and stupid, and we've gotten other people to ride them. And
We learned that nothing corners better at Mid Ohio than an XR 250. Like for the first time in my life, I can just hold the throttle wide open all the way around the turn, and dudes on CR 500s want to fight afterwards.
I get so mad.
Oh, they're pissed when you come off the track because how could I beat this CR 500 on an XR 250? They're so mad. What the hell, man?
The funny thing is,
So
like
old
the
rednecks.
first year it was like really funny because we pulled up the line and we were sitting in
that was your
staging.
first ride you had had on those bikes.
Yes,
that
we
was
Rode
it.
them
intense.
to the
It's
starting
so-
line.
Practice, huh?
And we were literally
Shit was falling
No,
off.
this was a hair scramble. We didn't. We
It was,
there's no
but it was that
practice.
race. It was
Yeah, that
to
weekend.
the start line and go. They
Yeah,
never
we never
broke
ridden
them
them
in
at
or
all.
did
We're
Nothing.
sitting there in the little staging and we're going, how good do you think these stop? Like, how hard can we go into the turn? And Nick's like, I don't know, man.
So we're sitting there and we're in stage, and John and I are just cracking jokes the whole time about how shitty these bikes are, and everybody's laughing along with us. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, "God, I can't believe y'all riding those slow ass motorcycles." This, that, and other. Well, John wound up way better than mid pack, and I was about mid. And you want to talk about when you start trying to pass somebody, and you're on a turd like that.
Oh, they have a vendetta.
They will fight you to
Yes,
the
they are ready to
death.
kill
It's
you.
almost when you see a girl race, you're like, "Oh my God, are you seriously passing me?" And they fight so hard.
We've
to
all
do
been
this.
passed by a girl, though.
Yeah.
Sure.
Not-
And they would be so mad. There was a guy, John would pass him every lap. He was on a KX 500, and then in that long straightaway, he would come by John literally doing 20 miles an hour faster than
easily.
you were. I mean, he would just fly by him like John was stopped. And
But then I wouldn't let off for the turn,
yeah,
and
the
I'd get
very
him
next
back.
corner,
Oh,
it
he's
was a big
mad.
long sweeper, and he'd get him again. That guy was so pissed. It was awesome. So
Yeah.
they have been fun, but John was on vacation. We bought them from all over the Southeast, and then dropped them off at his house.
And said, "Hey, we're racing these in 3 weeks," and they were garbage, dude. One had no air filter, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Oh, that's good. No cage, nothing." Like, dude's been riding it to work. The guy tells Nick,
Yeah, I talked to the dude's boss, and he says, I get him on the phone, and they're from like somewhere in North Carolina.
We did a
probably.
show, and we said, "Man, we should get matching XRs." Nick had his driver in 3 states the next morning, gone. Pew, pew, pew. They were getting picked up.
and then they're
just
like,
happened to
"What a
find three
lightning
86s.
strike of just finding these 3
Crown jewels.
And
of-
I said, "No, the lightning strike is them people found one idiot to buy all 3. Like, that's so dumb.
That
Terrible.
guy, I was talking to that guy's boss, and I was like, "Hey, is Clevis there?" And he's like, "No, man, he's
Clevis.
not. He ain't got here yet."
My man
and I said, "Well, I'm
Clevis.
got somebody supposed to be picking up that motorcycle this morning." Oh yeah, he goes, "Hey man, that's a good motorcycle. I tell you, he rides it to work about 3 days a week." He
My
literally
daily
was riding-
rider.
Yeah,
It's my daily
I said, "How
rider."
far does he live from work?" He said, "I don't know. It's about 20 minutes."
That's a long way on an XR
Yeah,
because it probably don't go 45 wide open. I mean,
Bull crap.
I don't know.
You know it goes faster now. He dogs these things all the time.
Yes. So we're going to redeem all these third places I keep getting in Mid-Ohio this year, I hope.
Yeah, what'd you get this year?
We took the Arsenal. We retrieved a bike from the Arsenal that's been parked since 89. It was ridden 5 times in 89. So Nick got his 95 CR250 all pimped out, and my 89 CR250 is getting done now.
so we won't.
So
get
no
the-
more talk.
coming for
Kevin.
blood, boys.
The funny thing is, like,
talk
you
around
watch
here.
I talk junk about them.
You can watch the starts. Now we are going to race the XRs in the hair scramble, for sure.
You should ride them on the other whatever. Bull
We got a
crap
third
classes.
one, Chris.
We can get a class. Yeah,
We have 3 XRs.
so
And there's, I know Chris knows how to ride.
I know the hilarious
Kevin's
thing
not
is
in? Or is Kevin still out?
Well,
Kevin's announcing.
Kevin works.
On
So
the clock.
they would every
Saved by the
video.
mic.
Kevin would every moto. Kevin would take a video of the start, and every moto the gate would drop. John or I would jump. And we'd have like a half
Massive,
bike
great
with,
start.
like-
And
Because
then
the
it's like,
bike doesn't
wah.
spin. It will not spin the tires. So
And
it
then-
goes.
but then as soon as everybody else goes, they just blow past you.
And they go into the first turn and they're just turning and the bike's completely bottomed out. I'm like, are you seeing this? I got it in
bottomed-
slow motion.
yeah.
It's like,
My bike is completely
On a flat
tires
turn.
on the fenders in a turn.
Just
If it
from
tells-
turning.
Yeah, if it tells you how
What
the
a
suspension
nice
set up.
machine.
I'm sure there's some tweaks that you could probably even pick up more
We're
time.
gonna
but
get them better this year. We're like
They
we're-
raced them. They raced the one you guys had for me. Fenwick's kid raced it and hauled ass on that bike.
Yeah, he set his up. He took the time. Not to I mean, he's a fast kid
Yeah,
for sure. But,
but-
he also
Again, I feel like the deck is stacked against me because what bike did he pimp out and make perfect? The 000.
Yes, but I think I've
It's
been riding.
stage, dude. It's all this is
I think we've been
work.
riding I think mine's the worst one.
It's not now. Oh, you're one you have. Yeah.
The one I've been riding, the one that the main jet fell out of while I was racing the hair scramble.
The
I was
main-
asking for a main jet for an 86. They had a guy come over and check though, didn't he?
Yeah, we had a guy next to us. It was a really good. He went to the
Yeah, MMI, right?
Yeah, I think so.
UTI. He had a UTI.
Oh, he had a UTI, had a high
Yeah.
fever.
and he was
That's
kinda
weird.
He
halluc-
had a UTI.
He was hallucinating. That's what it's called now. Is UTI, right?
It's in Utah, Utah
Utah
Technical
Technical
Institute.
Institute.
Yeah.
of UTI.
They burn like
Like
crazy.
hell, you
in
get a
there.
high fever, get delusional.
He said, "What seems to be the problem?" I said, "It burns when
When
I
I
pee."
piss. You got a UTI, I'm your guy.
But it turned out not to be that. It was just the main jet had
Okay.
literally fallen out of the carburetor while I was riding it. How have you ever heard
in
of
the
that
bowl
before?
or like was gone?
Into the bowl.
We don't know,
It was in
man.
the bowl.
Time was we were real dizzy.
I never heard of that happening.
I just had a real high.
real windy that day.
The great part about it is it happened in the most crowded part of the hair scrambles where everybody was watching and cheering. And I get this one part about they're watching everybody try to go up and get through safely. And I'm like, all right, I got to hit this and kind of wheelie over it. Get
Is that when I
I
passed you?
don't know.
Because remember, I went
Yeah.
over the handlebars there in one of those.
And it stopped.
early laps.
And the thing just stopped. And everybody, the whole crowd went, oh.
So we
Sweet.
may have told that story 75 to 80 times. Let's circle back to Chris and Christina.
Yep.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Good with that?
You started it.
I don't even know how. But like, so how in the world did y'all get into the sign business? I've never asked you that.
Oh, so we had an RV, little Denny Bago, and we were wakeboarding at the time. And we had a sponsor,
Yeah, board sponsor, shop sponsor.
a couple sponsors, and we're like, oh, we need to deck this thing out.
Yeah.
You know, so we went to local sign shop there on Wade Green Road, and Chris went in and told the guy what he needed, and we got it. It was, a lot of money for that time, for that, whatever that was.
They didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
You know,
We didn't have
they
it.
made basic stuff, and I needed a certain look, and
Yep.
They didn't have a clue what I was talking about at all. Felt like I
And
was
what
talking
year
about
are we talking right here? Are we mid 90s?
No, early 90s.
Early 90s. Okay.
So you went in to get a sign and
was
came out
probably-
owning the place.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive.
No, it's probably 87 that we were looking for the sticker stuff.
87, no.
Sorry, yeah.
I met you in
97,
89.
sorry, 97, excuse me.
97. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're in trouble now, Chris.
Yeah.
Who was
Idiot.
it? Who was with you in 87 when you went in there?
When you
Yeah,
went to
It
that
was a
sign
jackass.
shop.
sophomore in high
But
school.
we bought our first equipment in 98.
Way to go.
All right, well,
So in 97 is when I was kind of looking.
She just throws the headphones
So
down.
because of a bad experience, like you go in there and you're like, these people, like this
Yeah.
is stupid.
and we knew we wanted to do more, so Chris, started
Well-
doing research and looking around.
Well, we were heavily into wakeboarding, and so that was the boating industry, the wakeboarding. You know
Yeah,
that industry.
I know
So,
all about that.
We were already into that industry, helping a lot of people. And, at worst, I could buy this equipment, make stickers, and break even, maybe make a little money, a little hobby. I mean, I had a full-time job. She had a full-time job.
Yeah.
It
Little
was just
basement.
kind of a fun little side gig. And,
And were you
a
still
side
on a
gig.
motorcycle at that time at all?
No, it already been
Kinda
broken off
done.
by then, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn Bremen race.
Dan Bremen. Yeah, no, so yeah, you're right. We're done, no racing, and
Did you ever wear white jeans to Bremen Race Park?
probably for sure
One time, maybe. And then never
No,
again.
I
well,
used to
they
come up-
became they became my white Bremen jeans.
Okay. That's good.
So
I just used to always laugh because these dudes would bring
These girls,
and I'm like, why
they've
is
never
this
been here.
chick wearing white jeans to the
With
race
white
track?
socks and white shoes. What do you think?
What
the
is
white
wrong with you?
Reebok high tops.
Yes.
So bad.
Oh yeah.
No, I probably did, but so anyway, he got the equipment and just started tinkering around, and we started selling boat registration numbers.
Yeah.
To the boat dealers we
local
knew. Again, we
dealers.
knew all the boat dealers in town. You remember where Motions was?
Yep.
So there's Rocket Marine.
Yeah,
just
Rocky.
right next-
Rocky.
Yeah.
His name was Rocky,
Yeah,
right?
Rocky. Then Jerry took it over.
Dalton,
Yeah.
and all these places.
Dalton Marine,
and
yeah.
Quite a few little shops.
Is his
and-
name Dalton or was it in Dalton?
it was
No, Dalton Marine. It's
Yeah.
really
Off
close.
He was in Roadhouse.
Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
92 in
92, yeah.
Woodstock.
Roadhouse.
Dalton.
Yes.
Dalton,
And
Thought
then we
it-
did
the
I
bouncer.
thought that place would be bigger.
Here's another. It's another. That's probably Roadhouse. Can I
was.
take a guess?
Hey,
Yes.
amigo.
Finally, I guessed one right.
one or two.
Yeah, I don't know.
One.
I didn't know there was
always.
a two.
Always.
There's not
I
a
didn't know
two.
there was a two.
Yeah.
There isn't.
Don't
Dang,
even. Yeah, there's not.
That's
Don't
terrible.
worry.
I didn't know that.
So we started making stickers for a lot of, even some of the wakeboard manufacturers, like Connolly and a little bit for Hyperlight and some of the other manufacturers.
Straight Line.
Yeah, Straight Line. And
Straight
then,
line. They made handles and vests and
Yeah.
stuff.
So all those little die cut stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was your boy and your girl here.
And I
Just
I was
weeding all those out.
weeding them out.
Thousands.
Thousands of them.
I got pregnant, so I'm weeding
From
them
the
out
stickers?
From Chris?
the stickers.
They're potent.
from the
Boy,
from the
stickers-
It was
stickers.
yours, right?
Stickers
Yes.
are dangerous.
Good job, man.
And yeah,
Then our next biggest thing was Rocky from Rocket Marine.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, hey, why don't y'all, at the boat show, why don't y'all set up in between my two big boats. So you got these big boats side by side in their bow, and we just set up a little booth in between the bow, so we didn't have to pay for a booth at the boat
Yeah.
show.
Tucked in.
And there's a
And
zillion people walking by.
For 4 days, we sold shitloads of boat names and
Oh, really?
everything else. And
Well, that's cool.
like we paid for everything, and then made some more like, hey, okay, we might can do this.
And at this point, is that getting in the way of work? It's pretty hard to do
Yeah.
Well,
this
yeah.
little side business.
I
Well,
was
get
a-
in the way of everything because she wound up pregnant.
Yeah, it wasn't getting in the way of everything.
I was pregnant. I wasn't working. Chris
Nick
was
just
working.
waits.
Okay. So you would sort of maybe do some of the orders.
Yeah,
During the day.
I drove, dropped off orders,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
That's
you know?
wild.
Yeah.
I'm always interested in that because your business is impressive now. I mean, it's.
Thank you.
I feel like you don't have all your eggs in one basket. Sometimes a lot of businesses are sort of like if you make this guy mad, buddy, you're
It's
in
over.
trouble.
Yeah.
And you guys have irons in a lot of fires.
Yeah.
I
We
think
do.
I'm always impressed by that.
Well, thank you. Diversity.
Yeah, for sure.
Nick, can you talk about diversity?
Yes, I could. If it was a different show.
I don't even know where we're going with that.
Hey,
I
this-
can't see the
I
tie.
can speak to diversity. I started this show with one ginger, and not everybody hires a ginger to do a job.
Much less a second ginger.
And
Yes,
there's two gingers, so I can tell you,
you can talk.
You're the
about it.
minority.
I'm the minority, and I've been the minority on this show multiple times.
Yeah.
Even with the guests, there's been multiple times where there have been 4 people on the mics, and 3 of them were gingers.
When it was
Yeah,
Jeff
and he
Ward,
felt very outnumbered. He did
Jeff
not.
Ward, Trey Kennard, Ricky Carmichael,
That's pretty gnarly.
you're screwed. AC.
At the bar over there with
AC.
RV.
with RV.
Hey, is AC considered a redhead? He says he's not. Like, dude, you're a redhead, man.
When he was it doesn't look like it
Redhead
today.
denial.
Maybe not now, but
How
he,
do redheads just have brown hair one day?
dude, when I say my hair was fire engine golden orange, silky, beautiful
Again,
locks of golden
stop it.
orange. True story, man. It'll blow your mind.
Yes.
I grew
Well,
out of it.
But anyway, yes, we are a very diverse show
Like
here.
asthma?
We have,
Yeah, exactly.
we
There
have
it is.
lots of redheads on this show. It shows that we're willing to hire minorities.
Right. So, all right, let's circle back. So you're making stickers for Boating World. How do you get in? And that's not the same level of graphic quality. I don't think you're not using like the heavy duty stuff that goes on motorcycles. Like, how did you go to motorcycles at some point?
Well, the biggest thing about dirt bikes is, a lot of people don't know the story behind a lot of stuff behind Decal Works. So there's a company up in Chicago. They created the formula for the original pre-printed graphic. And they did this for Rydell football helmets.
Rydell, that's a kicker. Yeah, we know Rydell.
Yeah, we know Rydell. I went to school with him.
Yeah. So they were the manufacturer. They gave Decal Works like an exclusivity for so many years. So I always knew about the product, but we could never get our hands on
Yeah,
it. And
it's going down. So tell us
Very
some more,
sweet
Chris.
story.
Chris, come on. I mean, you knew someone in Chicago.
Rydell.
Decal
Named
Works.
Rydell.
It was Decal Works.
Decals.
His name was Ryder DeCal.
Ryder DeCalster.
Oh, and then it got wild. And that's when she got pregnant.
I can't hear now. I don't know what's going on.
All right. We're good.
But I really do want to know this. Like,
Yes.
we're joking and we're not going to be able to stay on task, but I do want to know.
And we really weren't prepared to, because a lot of people don't realize how much work it takes to make dirt bike graphics. You have to have X amount of printers, X amount of laminators, X amount of material, and then you get into the templates. I mean, when we started,
Every
you're
bike.
creating your own template from scratch. It's
Which
different.
means you got to measure someone's bike.
It's
how does that
more
work?
detailed than measuring. You really have to. A lot of people don't realize there's like 19 pieces per bike, and when we started, we had 0 bikes.
Oh,
you
so you had
think
to buy every bike every year? What? How'd you have the budget for that?
I think we have
No,
a better
300
collection
grand
than John
into-
Wacken.
Yeah, they have a big collection.
We have every bike ever made from 97.
Like triples,
So it's just the thought of all the bikes to template was just overwhelming.
Yeah.
And we know we knew that it would be such a big task to do. We didn't, we're like, no. And then finally enough people started coming to us. We're like, okay, let's give this a shot. We focused on like the Bailey Croom, that family market in the minis.
Absolutely.
And we had a target. That target helped us to make some money so we can invest and really turn up the power. Yeah.
But Bailey Croom, that doesn't. You pulled that one out of the hat. That doesn't seem that long ago.
Oh, it should be. That kid's probably 30 years old now.
Okay, so because I'm going to say it's been at least 20 years of graphics building.
It has been
It's been more than 20?
2004.
Oh, so we're right on the 20.
We're on the 20th.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bailey Croom's accurate then.
So it's
Okay.
your 20th. Shit, let's have a drink.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. To your 20th.
Yeah, we really should do that. And Christina will have 3. How did you end up with the large glass? There's nothing in this. Oh, if you spill it and get ants everywhere. All right,
Cheers
here we
to
go.
your 20th, guys.
Cheers to 20s in the dirt bike graphics world, which is a tough space, and it's made tougher by people like me and Nick who call with these weirdo machines, and you're like, hey man, I got to get the template, and we're like, we don't care, charge us.
And they're not available. All right.
Yeah,
I'm
but
back
we
to
can't be riding.
2004 again.
We can't be riding without our numbers on stuff. It doesn't matter if it's a giant adventure bike with bags hanging off the side. I got to have 23 on
And
the
I
thing.
can tell y'all this: you need to set up an account with Roost Graphics and have your shit ready, because the 350 I just bought, I had the graphics before I had the bike.
Yeah, it's what you get for calling over there. You shouldn't have called and asked. When you call, the junk's ready. Like it's like
I had the graphics.
unless I ask for one of the stupid
I
motorcycles.
showed up the very next day after I picked the bike up at Itchicony, full graphics kit, and they're like, "How'd you get graphics numbers for this bike so fast?" It's like,
It's all about
oh, I ordered them the day before I bought the bike.
Yes. Yeah, but the day before and still there. And let's just say he's riding a Honda 450, and the day before the regional, he's like, I think I'll ride a 350 that I don't own yet tomorrow at the regional.
Solid choice.
It's just a
let's
good
switch
plan.
bikes on the roughest track in Georgia.
It's just a good plan.
I learned the difference between having suspension set up for you and getting it off the showroom floor.
Yes.
Really quick.
fast.
Yeah.
Makes a difference.
I went out and rode that bike with like 130 pounds of pressure in the forks, and I'm 220 before gear, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
good.
you got to go up a bunch right there.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So, all right. But you were leading into Chicago and Decal Works or something. And
Did they help you with templates? Is that what you're
No.
saying?
yeah, so
It was really just the material.
okay, so getting something thick enough and durable enough.
Because you can't
that's-
just run any average Joe sticker. You'll figure that out.
They'll
real
be
quick.
gone in half a lap, right?
You have to get the right amount of mils.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not even thick. It's the exact amount of glue.
Right.
It's a certain type of glue that sticks to plastic or low energy surfaces.
Is there a certain kind of horse you get that glue from?
Oh, they kill horses. That's all they do.
Do y'all
over
kill
there.
your own horses?
We grass fed horses. We kill the shit.
That, we
out of
use them healthy ones though.
thoroughbred now. Them's good sticky ones.
We're joking.
No
We're gonna
horses.
get calls tomorrow.
No, you're not. We're
no
not
horses
serious.
were hurt in the making of this podcast.
Yes, no horses are hurt. We're joking. But yeah, so
Baby
because
tears.
there's no quality drop whatsoever. I mean, I'm talking, for however many years, I don't really have a lot of experience with other graphics companies, but it's really kind of a one and done.
I don't think there are any other graphic companies.
Boom.
Well, there may not be.
There's not. You just if you want graphics, it has to go through Roost.
Well,
Yes, I agree
there's
with
other
that.
materials out there, and even the manufacturer we buy from, they have thinner and lesser materials, but we just try to.
We tried running
we-
flannel one time.
Flannel?
Yeah, it just doesn't clean up good.
Flannel.
flannel stickers.
I'd stay
Just
away from the flannel.
Make
There
the
was
back
once a
run hot.
design at Roost that
The
was
claw.
flannel.
I know.
Yeah.
Probably in
I
03,
can see
5,
it.
somewhere in
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Flannel, and then it had logos over the flannel.
I can tell you about every trailer back door from here to North Dakota has Roost MX has done their
Our
has done
trailer
their-
back door has
yes,
that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Rider silhouette number and a background of some
Yeah,
sort. Yep.
I think that was our sign.
Yeah,
I would think. I don't know where these came from. Amanda came home and she got this one, and there's some
I think that's
Kawasaki
from
and some
2000.
Hondas.
That's
Yeah.
vintage right
Yeah.
there.
Is it?
That's probably from Bremen.
We'd sell them at Bremen. Do you remember? We'd set up that
I
little
do.
table.
I do remember that.
I don't remember this at all, but Amanda brought these home.
Yeah.
Here, y'all can sign the back of that.
Boom. There you go.
I mean, what year you think that's from?
Oh, that's the Bremen pitback years.
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah, pit bike. What was that thing called?
That was like 98.
They had fire on the trophies.
Pit Bike Palooza or something.
No.
Mini Mayhem.
Mini
Mini
Mayhem.
Mayhem. Thank
That's
you,
it.
Chris.
He
Of course,
knows.
he would know.
He knows.
Yeah,
He
well, I
had to
think-
make 500 of those stupid trophies.
Didn't we do the trophy with like the trucker girl?
Yeah.
I don't
With the-
remember that
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
We still have one.
Yeah.
Like
The
that.
one I remember
Ping
was
got the first
looked
one
like-
on that one.
You still have
Right.
a trucker
When he
girl?
came down.
Oh my God.
So
That's
Ping, and I told you this story, and you won't remember this. This has been 20 years ago. The way that he rides a mini bike through a turn. I called you one day. I said, dude, did you see Pingree, the way he puts his foot out for turns? And I'm sure it was from knee injuries or something. But he would hang his foot out there with this little dainty way of dangling his foot. I just go in there and stick my leg out. I had of course, he's a top professional, right? So, but I
And
just
really good on pit bikes too.
Oh yeah, he was really good. And I just remember watching him and thinking, that is so odd the way he puts his foot out. It was so careful and methodical on a whatever mini bike he was riding. It was just the opposite of every other kid on the track at the same time.
You need to be more dainty when you ride.
We need what are those little
Like you
things?
were at Mammoth.
Doilies. I need doilies.
You were at Mammoth.
Can you guys make some? I was dainty.
Yes, because you said you had to hold on loosely.
You had to
held
hands,
on
so you
loosely,
rode it
dude.
all-
Like a 38 special song.
I'm still playing with
You rode all dainty.
broke hand over that nonsense. I should have went to the doctor. It's like, why did I wait this long? I can finally pick up paper.
Man, those doctors don't know shit.
It's just school.
Yeah, that's really the only difference. Is
You
they
want to
went
go get
school.
soft wave in the morning? That's what I'm going to Carrollton for.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Okay.
Boom.
Me and Mitchell are going to go in the morning.
That just
I
happened.
like that. Should we
Call Mike.
call
We
and
can.
talk to Kevin? Who would our guest be this week?
The AMA's Mike Pelletier. The
You can
most,
file all your protests later.
yes, I'll give you his phone number, folks. Everybody gets his
Personal
phone
phone
number as soon as this is over with.
Hey, he has a cell phone.
Are you serious?
We're about to call her right now.
Hey, here's round 2 of having problems with.
Yeah,
yeah.
chances that this is going to work are slim
Roll the
to
dice.
Never works. It never
Yes.
does.
slim to fat
Christina's
baby.
got fingers crossed and arms crossed.
It's
Yes,
working.
Christina, thank you. We need you over here.
We're not even
Every
sure it's
show.
him.
It's not going to be.
Oh, looky here.
Yeah.
Christina makes it happen.
Ooh, yeah.
Man.
This hurts.
You
Mike.
didn't know it was questionable, right?
I know. No, it's
That's what I was
only
gonna answer.
Christina legitimized this whole thing, so it
Yeah.
makes sense.
We're
now,
not.
so.
We're not even sure it's you. Can we see your ID?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We have to FaceTime instead.
Do you have a current newspaper? You can put yourself next to it, so I know it's not whatever. Well,
Yeah.
welcome, Mike Pelletier, to the program. 3 months after we try to get you on to try to talk about motocross of nations, but
He's just been busy.
he's a
guys.
busy Patriots fan, so I understand your the pain you must be going through as well as a Falcons fan as well. Myself being.
Oh my god, it's brutal.
Do we think Mike has the best hair in the AMA?
He's got a good father figure. That's what I call the.
What do you mean, father
The
figure?
beard. The father.
Oh, I'm
figure.
not even talking about his beard. I'm talking about.
Oh, the George Michael.
Yeah, it's the George.
Oh,
Michael
he's
father
kind of like
figure.
George Mike.
Yes, he's
oh,
got a-
father figure. Okay, yes.
Follow along.
I'm so
guide you.
sorry.
Put your tiny hand in mine.
Yeah, you do got a good father
The
figure.
bald spot on the back's getting bigger though. I'll tell
Listen,
you
man,
that.
this is a time when you just
Well,
say thank you.
there's a time to transition out of them skinny jeans. When that bald thing is a certain size, you need to move on. It's time to make the move. You're trying to ride them things. You got no leg kick with those, bro. You can't lift your leg.
yeah,
up.
but I don't know. I've set the trend though.
It works for
Got
you though.
second.
You did.
Come on, it works.
I was giving you the business
Totally.
so hard at AMA Vintage Motorcycle Days. By the way, you don't know it, but John and Nick heard it, and I was just
We still laugh about this, Mike, because he goes, "Oh, how's that aerodynamic skinny jeans look working out for you now?" Mike Pelletier gets passed for third.
He's awesome though. Mike just rolls with it.
I came off the tracker. He's like, "Are you mad at Kevin?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said he was talking about your skinny jeans the whole time. I said, "I love that." Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
It was awesome.
you
it really
handled
was
great.
funny.
You were
And
blowing it up.
I want to formally apologize for Nick putting you in that
Figure four. or
figure
whatever.
four hold there in England. I know that you were truly at the mercy of whatever he chose to do to you next,
Whistle
was.
Dixie boy.
Yeah.
because your feet were dangling and he had you lean back like it was Dancing with the Stars. Ooh,
That was going to determine my flight home.
I wanted to know if he knocked your shoes off or not.
socks.
Not the shoes. No, the glasses came off. It was
He
crazy.
knocked the socks
no.
off.
Knocks his
England's a
socks off.
violent place.
Knocked the socks.
Yeah. No, Mike's really particular about his shoes. So
Oh, that's good to know.
Very good to know. That'll
Oh,
be
yeah,
the first
tell
thing
Kevin that.
I'll run my foot right down the back of the thing.
Let's bring a detail kit like Mid Ohio. Let's bring the detailer and let's really
give him a
shine
full
those
flat
things up.
tire.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Rip that back. Every time I
I have
see
my
you,
own pit bike sneakers.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Do not be racing in the
I
ones
think we
you care
bring
about.
some shoe covers and just everywhere you go, just wear those shoe covers.
Like he's scrubbing
Oh, yeah.
in for surgery or something.
Mike, you were around with one of the funniest things, not that I said, but I was a part of when it was. I think you were next to me when I was trying to measure Mike Burkeen's head. And I couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
I could not get the words out Because I'm like, he has the largest head in amateur motocross. I wanted to measure that big old thing, and it was so big.
And the tape measure wasn't long
But he
enough.
says it's not the biggest. He's like top 5 though.
It's a podium. It's got to be top 3.
He's on
I
the
think so
podium.
too. Ryan Cunha's right there with him. He's got a ginormous
He
head.
does have a large skull. But see, me and Nick can't speak, man. The snapback hats, we immediately, before we tried on, we just put it on the last click.
One size does
Cunha's
not
is
fit
that
all.
far short. He can't even.
He
2
can't
inches.
button.
No.
Oh, wow.
I've got pictures of him.
Is
at
it all
Loretta's.
skull or is it just that thick hair?
No, it's that big, ginormous ass melon. I don't know. It's just big. It makes me laugh anytime I see those guys. But there's some other guys. Burkeen says that have bigger heads. But hey, so let's. I want to ask you the question that we asked these folks earlier about donations and the vibe from different, the continent when it's here in America versus when it's in Europe. Like, why is it different? Is it better, or is it just that there's more European countries, so it has a more, varying flair to it?
I don't know. I don't know if it's different, but it does have a different feel compared to when we're here and over there. But going back to the 2 Redbuds, even like that was crazy. That was awesome. Our fans showed up in support. So I know they're coming Ironman. It's gonna be legit. But honestly, when you're over there, and it almost feels closer with Team USA because you have that us versus the world feel. And you kind of go into your bubble and you're like, all right, let's go get this. It's us versus them. When you're walking in America in the paddock, it's everyone's on your side. It's a completely different animal.
So it's a different dynamic.
And I think it's way different, way different. I think some of the riders, you can see it and feed off of, it's me versus the world overseas. And, it's nice hearing when you're walking in America, it's like, go guys, let's do this, Team USA. And it's a different feel for sure.
They're probably used to seeing everybody. Like a lot of people feel like they're just at a race here, probably. You know what I mean? Like if they're not a real in-depth fan. And you're right. Like in England this year, we felt like you do feel close to everybody. We felt close to everybody there. Like
The Australians, when you were saying, Eli's going to stomp Jet in that last moto because he was out front and he was gone, right? So, and then we hear the dude's accents and we're like, oh man, they're Aussies, dude.
So yeah, but you do feel like we said we saw one couple and we felt like we wouldn't just like speak to a random couple. And it was, we felt real close and John was a little inappropriate, but it was like they.
Was I?
You
doing
don't
on your
want to just
phone,
walk
John?
up like.
No, but I was gonna bring up a picture. So
He just puts his arm around the woman like it's his own wife.
Wow,
and
she's not even on the continent.
She's
He's over
cool with it, and the husband's like, "What's the deal?" And John goes, "It's cool, man. I'm American."
it's
He's like,
cool,
"Oh,
man.
that's what we do. We all
rock
just
and roll, Levi's. You know what I'm saying?
swap it up, man.
Yeah. No.
I can't tell you how many times though when I go over there and they're like, "We've come from Maryland or whatever, and this is what we've picked to do." And you just find those people because there isn't a lot that come over, and you see that with the American flags. You kind of just gravitate to them when you're overseas because it is that team feel,
We didn't even mean to, but I agree with you. We're standing in a crowd and we notice this lady is living and dying by the moves of Aaron Plessinger. Yes. Oh,
We all were.
I mean, it was lap after lap of her freaking out, and we're like, she's from America, man.
I think John and I have decided next time we go overseas to the donations, we're going to get a T-shirt for every country and just go get in everybody's pits. Like,
Hey.
Latvia, just playing Latvia. Latvia. All right, go team
No,
Latvia.
we're good with Latvia.
We amended.
We mended some fences. We got some pictures with Latvia. I don't think they're still upset with us anymore.
They stopped
And you
for
know
pictures.
what? Every team you'd go to, they'd welcome you with open arms.
That's the
Guaranteed.
truth. That may be the difference between America.
Yeah, we're kind of assholes. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Beat it.
Oh, the Kevin's the one sweeping them out of the pits because it's going to be a sweep. Like with
It's
a
going to be a
broom.
sweep. He's got a red, white, and
But
blue broom
honest
sweeping
to God,
Thank
Europeans.
God we did that. Though.
When we were in England, everybody was so nice and so welcoming and like wanted to cheer along.
Same in
And
France. I had a guy in Belgium updating me, Christian Craig's position or Plessinger's position, and he's from Belgium. He goes, "I know, I'm watching for you, man." And I'm like, "Okay." I don't know the accent.
Yeah,
but
well, John,
How
this
cool.
is,
that was a
you're
great
in your Friday
Hispanic.
workwear, so they probably thought you're like the president.
Oh, that's right. He's in his
I
khakis.
did. Hey, listen, Mike. So in France,
business.
the thing said business casual only. And
Meet
Christina,
and greet.
and it said meet and greet.
M-A-A-T.
They spelled
M-E-A-T.
it. They literally. He showed us a picture. It says MEAT. Meet and
And dude,
greet.
I wasn't about to get meated by some French dude. But I come in and like.
So what'd you wear?
I had
What'd you wear for that?
khakis, dress shoes, and
Prophylactic, of
a
course.
black button-down shirt. And Christina goes, "What the hell are you doing? What are you
Step in
doing?
the
I have
Yeah,
a
you-
photo. There's a photo of us three.
What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What do you
You
mean?
came
It
red.
says, it says
I like it.
business casual."
He's the Ken Roxon of fans, bro.
I changed about 8 minutes after that photo.
What
by
an
the way.
idiot.
Did you
I
really?
walked, yeah, the car was right above us. So,
You're like, oh my god, oh my god.
I just am
Trans
like,
Am
why are we
t-shirt.
so dressed up?
Rocky Balboa shorts and
No, I
So
didn't have
then
any of that.
you whipped out your red, white, and blue boxers
Yeah.
and
yes,
tank top.
I went straight for it. Painted my broom red, white,
we
and blue.
talked about that. I tried to get John. We were going to do like the most American redneck, like sleeves cut off blue jeans. You know what I mean? With boots, like just to walk around with American flag and just represent.
There's
you
certain
know?
body types, Mike, that really support that, and some body types don't. And it depends on your
Yeah.
sugar and cereal consumption.
Well, the problem we kept having was everybody thought John was Irish. And
Yes,
so
and I ain't jumping the fence and doing somersaults and cartwheels 5
John
minutes before
got
Moto
swept
1.
away in a sea of
Every
Irishmen
year.
at one point.
Every
Like
year.
this huge crowd of Irishmen come
Leprechauns.
by and sweeps
let's
John.
get Johnny Boy. Here we go.
John's
Off
spinning
he
around
goes.
trying to like reach out for me.
Help.
Please, Nick, hold me.
Go fuck yourself. And he's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, shit.
Christina, I think we were doing the countdown for the race, and we're going, hold on, we're on a hold. The leprechauns are running down the racetrack again.
Oh yeah, Chris has it on
It's unbelievable.
film from.
oh,
The,
so the radio traffic literally did say that?
yes,
Yeah, leprechauns are
Oh,
wild
that's
again.
great.
leprechauns.
Those
and
guys are
they're
amazing.
flipping, and I don't even know if they're as on purpose, but they're just rolling all over.
Yeah, because
the
some
place.
of them went really fast,
Yeah,
and when
I
they would
think-
go down the backside of a jump, they would eat shit. And I'm like,
But then but it was like they got up. It was like a 10 from
was
the Olympics.
hilarious. Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
And then Elvis slid in after the
Yes.
got off the track.
what in the heck, man?
But I think it's expected, and honestly, I think a lot of that is what the difference is in Europe. You know,
I love it.
If
people rating the track before they're even off the track for
yeah,
the
they're
last
coming
lap.
to the podium.
Like Daytona.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, that podium, you get run over if you're between the fans and that podium.
God, they
you
were
got a
going
problem.
crazy. But is
Yeah.
that the difference? Like 5 leprechauns jumped the fence at Redbud. Is that cool? Or
Are they
are
gonna
some
get-
people?
are they
That's
gonna
an,
get arrested?
that's an international
Yeah.
incident here.
I think
Yeah.
we're
Yes.
shutting down, and
Yeah, we're paused, right? Program just got stopped.
Redbud, Michigan was
yeah.
attacked today by 5 leprechauns.
But that was like, remember Pastrana tried to do the backflip on,
Yes.
on the sight lap.
That was awesome, man. Almost got it
That
around
was-
there. Not hardly any lip on that jump.
Right.
And he just like, rah,
Crazy.
rah, and it goes around almost.
Incredible.
so
Hey.
Mike, they don't know this, but part of me getting you on the show today is that they do have to dress up for Ironman this year.
We don't care. We'll do
Oh,
anything.
good.
We're idiots.
I don't dress
You
up
know
like
that.
And we got to get Kevin
You
to
mean
France next
you weren't
year.
going to do that anyway?
Yeah, I was the whole
Sky Miles.
Did you
man.
hear her?
France.
the whole
He
time
just-
we were sitting there
He just
talking.
tensed up over there.
I
That's
was
all.
I was trying to think of what
passport.
I wanted to dress up for, or we wanted to dress up for at Ironman this year. So what are we dressing up as?
Yeah,
What's it gonna
Christina, you
be?
got any requests?
Different
for-
presidents. All the different presidents. Pick presidents.
Oh, that's solid.
Or what if we just do?
We could be just like Point
Abe
Break.
Lincoln.
or we just
Yeah.
do 3 Elvises.
Hey, point break. There you go.
Point break.
I think we have a
Dude.
little bit of time. Let me just add this
Presidents.
to my agenda. What
Well,
to do?
you have nothing else going on.
So-
So,
I
Yeah,
need
the
a-
to-do list.
I'm gonna need a little time.
does
So
Christina
choose
have the
3
longest?
riders
Yeah, go ahead.
And then choose the costume. That's where we're at.
There we go. Yeah, you're that's number 1, and then number 2 is like, what is John? Nick,
I want to
and
do a
Kevin
live
wanna wear?
broadcast from there. I would love to be able to do. I know everybody else
Oh.
does that. I would love to be able to do our own.
And you ought
version
to
of
be
that.
like, hey, John, bring all the podcast stuff, and then we won't do it.
no,
That'd
we
be
will
cool.
do it though. For
This is what
one.
he does to me, Mike. He's like, hey,
No,
man,
I
bring
wanna
that,
do it.
dog. We're doing a show.
I know Steve does his thing, but we can do something way off to nowhere else and get nobody's way.
By this time next year, we're
Didn't
going to
you-
be.
We'll have the
set-
camper at Crawfordsville, dog.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
we're gonna
fine.
have we're going to have like a wagon train full of campers at Crockers.
Yeah, we will.
Didn't you do one at
Crockerstown.
the-
We're going to be huge at Crockerstown.
Mike,
Didn't you
let me-
do one
let
at
me-
BMD this year or no?
I had it all
We
set
tried.
up.
No, Brock Glover
Yeah.
he had dinner. He would not, and he wound up. So he goes, "Oh, I got to go," and,
And he
stays
came
and
to our
talks to us
camper, too. He
for
came-
an hour.
Can I
I'm like,
go
Brock,
understand
can you
our-
just go inside there and say this same shit in the
He
RV?
told stories outside the RV, but he wouldn't tell them in
Because
it.
we had a cloth and we were like, and it was gonna, hey, smell this, and
Dude,
he was weirded
does
out.
it
by
smell
that.
like chloroform to you?
He's so strong. He's like, yes, it does, but I'm not gonna fall for that trick, bastards.
He's like, I'm used to working with this shit. It doesn't
I
bother
did
me.
announce the Motocross of Nations team way back when at Loretta's, like me, Wygant, and Iser, we did a show live at Loretta's, and we announced
Revealed the
there.
team.
Yep,
Oh,
we
for
did,
real?
which I thought was super cool.
That would be cool.
The hype was,
While we're
I
here-
mean, it was electric. They had the whole place packed with people.
That would be awesome.
Can we go ahead and lock that down now?
What?
Christina, can you imagine going as early as Loretta's? That would be incredible.
That would be
Yeah,
To
Mike,
announce
you
amazing.
don't like this
Well, I mean,
last minute
don't you-
nonsense?
But don't you think we would have
Oh,
it kind of
man.
sorted out by then in America?
So we've gone full circle. That's why I have no hair left
Well, let's try doing
on the
that.
top.
Yeah, because
We can help you with that.
You thought you had it nailed down. It falls apart, injuries and everything else, and then, oh yeah, let's do this. Oh well, wait, no,
I think it was the
hang on.
07.
I think we have everybody come here
That's super cool.
and we announce it
To
from-
my house?
Yeah, and we announce it from
From
Do it
my
here.
basement.
Pool party. Pack 1,200 people here.
I like that. Let's
Yeah.
do
No,
it
we about announced it at the Fountain Blue Hotel on Monday after Vegas.
for real.
Yeah. Wasn't it, Mike? It was.
Yeah, it was about that. I mean, to say I was discouraged leaving Vegas is an
No,
understatement.
I
but,
wasn't leaving
man, with
Vegas.
oh,
Until
I wasn't
was
leaving
crazy.
Vegas, and I called Chris. I'm like, I got to stay another day.
without my babies. I got
I
to
mean,
get my babies.
you got to start thinking though. To peel the layer back, and you're leaving Vegas, and we're leaving the next. It's not that weekend; it's the weekend after's the race,
Oh
and
my God.
we're down a rider.
Yeah, no,
At
we're
that
leaving
point, you're like,
literally a week.
I don't even know if this is going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Monday,
Jeez.
when Eli gave us the green light,
Oh,
we were leaving. Chris and I were boarding the flight the following Monday.
God, that's way too close.
What a-
You spent all day, 2 days shipping then.
Yeah, I flew back home Monday night from Vegas, went home Tuesday morning. I'm back at the airport I stayed down there, 2 nights? Yeah, 2. And
Yeah.
scouting FedEx, Delta, UPS, anything we could get
That
to
seems so
get
scary.
these bikes over.
She was a dock lizard for a couple days.
Oh yeah.
whoa. This lady is all right.
Hey, we raced, didn't we?
Yeah, you did.
right.
She made it
Raced
happen.
with a
We did.
vengeance, for real.
We raced.
America put in a
Hell,
very
you were
strong.
in it. Like with this
performance.
ragtag team,
I know,
just
no.
they put together at the last minute, and you guys were in that shit till
Till the very last-
I mean, just
Moto,
think
3/4
Eli
of the
was
way.
6 days out from saying he was going to go and kicked ass.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a good
rock
weekend.
stars, dude. Him
Well-
and Cooper got mad respect for those guys, man.
Yeah.
It was
I mean, when you're okay, so when you're filling in riders, though, and you never want to do it that late. But one guy, I was getting interviewed over there, and they said, "Well, the fill-in riders," and I thought to myself, Cooper Webb and Eli Tomac as fill-ins, like replacements. You're in a good place if those are the two you end up bringing anyway. You know,
For sure.
Kind of
That's
crazy.
a solid team, and that
Yeah.
would be like your most desirable team almost every time.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, it's
hey,
cra-
we'll
it was
take it. Right?
That's the
you know,
hardest
and Cooper
race
to
to-
drop to the 250, incredible.
That's the hardest race when you're sitting there watching it and you're close. Like everybody was all tied up going to the last race.
That's part of the beauty of that
and so
race,
you're
though.
just sitting there like we're with our shoes off, counting on our fingers and toes, trying to figure what
Trying to
place.
do those
yeah,
points,
trying to
man.
get that math figured out to where we're going to be. It's
That's a
pretty,
great place to be, Moto 3.
Yeah,
that
it's-
we're sitting there tabulating with our fingers
Yeah.
and toes, because how cool is that? There's been some years there was no need to tabulate.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And the fun thing is, you're in this crowd with a bunch of these crazy ass fans from other countries, and they're doing the same thing.
Setting off smoke
We're all
bombs.
talking where they're like, you know, this, that, yeah, but we get to, we had somebody that had, like, guess maybe Cooper's worst race was the 17th or something. And then we had to, so we
Yeah.
got to drop that. We're like, yeah, but we get to drop 17 points. Like, it was almost
Yeah.
better to have that worst race because you had all those early to have all those points to drop.
Well,
Like,
especially when Cooper got better on the bike every single time he
every
hit the
time
track.
he touched
So,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, when you wrench
Yeah.
the pressure up, that's when he obviously dials
he
it up
always
too.
rises. Yeah.
I can tell you that
You know what the
that track was scary the first day. When the day he had the bad day on qualifying or whatever, that
Oh, with the handlebar deep ruts there. Yes.
that was insane.
yeah.
We were just watching them go around that track, going, "How is this possible that they're doing this?"
Yeah.
Like,
It was nasty
uh,
for sure.
Well, what's
You
your
know,
big
the one thing
takeaway?
too behind the scenes when you pull the layers back again and you start looking at results and you know what they're capable of, right? They're great, they're incredible athletes, but then you start mixing those personalities together and they're each in their own motorhomes at outdoors or supercross and they're kind of doing their own thing, their own routines. Then you ask these guys to get in one room, one truck, work together, and all the routines are coming together. Aaron deals with it more like having to talk and having a good time and keeping it casual. Some of them are focused, and it's just such a unique mix that you try to navigate to and keep them all composed there. That's something behind the scenes that's pretty incredible to see.
Yeah, for your career, both
Yeah,
of
and-
you.
and
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. And we decided early on, Mike, right, that we got a like a 12-passenger van that Big John was going to be taking the riders back and forth and their wives, or with JT, with Eli, and it was probably one of the best things. It was organically, it was one of the best things that we did, and just these guys going back and forth together and talking about trucks, talking about anything but racing. And the comments I was getting from like Cooper and Aaron's wives, that it was so cool to see Eli in that element and having a good time, and just kind of all rotating every talking about different stuff like that. You can't plan, but when like what an impact it made, you just plan on it for the future. And I think that's something that Mike and I really have been working on every year. We find these little things like the trailer, with huge help with Paul getting that thing lined up last year and this year, and we already got it booked for next year. But those things are I think the big difference of what you're seeing out of Team USA. And just, I know when we go to Ironman, it's going to be a little different because they're going to have their RVs and they're going to have their trailers and the stuff. But I think we'll see them come together still and
gravitate towards the central location.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're starting the week good when Big John is the chauffeur with his hat on. He's just carting everybody around in a 12-passenger van in France. It's going to be a good week when that happens.
Love it.
Yeah, relying on JT to give them directions.
Yeah, exactly.
And driving on the wrong side of the road and almost killing everybody that's in the passenger side.
Honestly,
we put a lot of faith in him.
John gets more photo requests than some of the riders do at this point.
Yeah, he does.
For real.
He's popular over there. Yeah. I think a French fan came up and said, Grand John, Big John.
Grand John.
You know that guy's story? He's a former Houston Oilers, played for the Houston Oilers, professional tennis instructor.
Tennis.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We talked about tennis. I'm like, what? You played tennis? Like, that big old ginormous man? Instructor, yeah.
He's going to go on that Dos Equis commercial now. He's the most interesting man in the world.
He has done so much.
He's got to be near it. Yeah, he's got to be near the most interesting man in motocross.
He's been in a lot of motocross nations, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Jeez.
And hey,
Almost 20 years,
you guys are speaking about the riders being together and talking about anything but moto. All of that adds to what we can feel on the fan side as the tide's turning. There was years that, he's over at the KTM truck and he's at the Yamaha truck. Well, this year Jeremy Coker's asking Aaron Plessinger, I mean, I don't know for sure, but like that's what it looked like. Hey man, how was it out there? Tell me this, tell me that.
Yeah.
It's a unified effort again, and that's all you can ask for when you're a fan of the race on the level that I am. So I can feel that, and I can feel the work that Christina, you and Mike have put in. It feels different than those years where every single rider's got a cover on his tire heading to the line at Redbud, and Eli's tire is packed to the gills with mud. Somebody just didn't communicate. There is a ton of communication going on now, and it's going to lead to success.
And that's part of the little things that add up.
Plus, because of John, we're on board.
What does that mean?
I mean, we're gonna make this happen this year. We're raising money. We're gonna totally pimp out VMD, Mike. For
here you go, Mike.
That would be awesome.
You need to hear this.
Listen.
Let Nick present his business plan.
Yes, we're gonna have in our camper right over there beside the podium.
Our camper was right behind the starting gate.
Yes.
Just so you know.
We're gonna have QR codes everywhere, and then Kevin's gonna pimp to go scan and donate to the Motocross Donation.
We're going to do this at Day in the Dirt. We have banners that'll have a QR code, donate to Team USA.
You need to sell merch at that race.
Okay, so Mike,
if you
here's
have
the
it
other,
by then, let's
here's
go ahead and
the
start
other
selling that.
thing.
And we're going to have somebody that has
Christina.
a graphics company.
He's pointing
I
to
thought of this
Christina.
just a second ago. On our XRs, we need a Team USA with a QR code where Kevin can say, go up to that bike and scan
I'm not
the
having
QR.
people scan me mid-moto.
If he beats you, everybody he
That'd be
beats,
cool.
you have to scan his bike. You have to
donate.
drop $10.
Yeah, if I beat you on an XR250,
If I beat you on an XR250, you have to.
especially that dude that cussed me out on the 500.
Yeah, you have to donate.
You're donating
20
100 if you
yes.
cuss me
But
out.
I mean, we're at a great place with it's a very patriotic race. You're telling me there's 40,000 people. I feel like we could almost fund that whole damn team effort. I mean, a good chunk of it.
$5 a piece would get that.
With
would
some
have your
shirts,
biggest budget of all time.
Some merch.
Everybody that loses to us on
71,000
an XR250 has to donate $20.
All right, goddamn it.
XR250 tariff.
I will go to. It's a tariff. It's a tariff.
And I'm gonna collect that shit too. Don't think I'm not.
Line up. Hold it. I'll stop everybody at the end of the race. He finished in front of all 37 of you. Give me 10
Kevin
bucks.
will stop
I'll let
the
you
race.
out of here. You're good to
All
go.
right,
It's
listen.
like a
Mike.
road toll.
That's it.
So we're at England. We're at Matterley, and on the far side of the track, up on the hill, is this vendor selling Team Great Britain shirts. The nicest jackets, little rain jackets, little shirts, little beanies, koozies. They had everything.
Shoe covers,
of the height. They did not have
skinny
shoe co-
jeans.
They did not have skinny jeans, or but they
I would
were
have been up there.
The
their
Union Jack skinny
sales.
jean.
Their sales were to raise money for next year's Team GB Motocross to Nations effort.
Let us
So-
help you. We'll go to Mammoth. We'll carry that shit wherever we go. It's that
Yeah.
easy.
I want you
How
guys
much
to
of that
have a
shit can we sell at
budget.
VMD from right there by our pit?
I feel like you could crank out 20 grand worth of merch and at VMD easily. I know what Fast House did.
Hey,
and
that
it's
one cat
obnoxious what
sold.
they did there.
I don't know how many of those damn $100
David
books.
Dewhurst. Kevin,
Yes.
tell about David Dewhurst. You know who David Dewhurst is, Mike?
Here's my book and it weighs 90 pounds. It goes boom.
He's got the golden era of motocross.
It's the Holy Bible.
It's the biggest motocross book on the planet, and he's a historical.
It was like
walk.
$110 a book, and John was like, "Yeah, we'll take a couple of those," thinking they were going to be like 40.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. It's cool. Here's $300. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, mate.
But Kevin laid on the damn RV karaoke really hard the night before. And so I was face down in the bed and David Dewhurst,
Good God, mate.
he goes,
What's wrong with him?
what?
He walks in, John's face down. He goes, "Good God, mate. What's wrong with that boy right there?"
He's in my camper
That
talking.
ginger.
He's angry
What's
because I'm
wrong
a
with the
ginger.
Irishman?
I'm face down with a pink shirt. And of course, these clowns are taking pictures.
I did take pictures.
And I'm like, damn, dude, I look like I got ran over.
We put the microphone right beside you so everybody knows that that's what it.
I was singing until
Yeah, you sung
Till he wasn't
right,
singing.
till I fell out.
right at the point you went face down. You were, "Don't stop,
Yeah.
believing." Hold on to the
Batteries died.
Yeah, the batteries just ate it.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yes.
But yeah, we've already. John and I talked about this on the way back from Matterley with Brock Glover. Well, actually, he didn't talk to us because he was talking to some other person for 6.5 hours.
That's what David Hurst walks by.
David
the mic.
Dewhurst.
He goes, Jesus Christ, mate. What's wrong with him, mate?
And so we talked about
That's the
that.
next morning.
Like,
I'm getting showered up. I'm like going to announce.
for real. We're gonna have our QR codes at Day in the Dirt.
Listen, let's go a step farther
Man,
and let's have some shirts ready. Let's do T-shirts, and
got
that,
it.
people will be way more amped to drop
Let's
$25.
sell them at Day in the Dirt. Let's sell them at VMD.
I promise you, we can get in Day in the
Mammoth,
Dirt. All
man.
those, we're there.
I don't know about
I'm already announcing it. If we can do Day in the Dirt and VMD. That's of course you have to have it ready by March-ish. I mean,
Yeah, but we're not talking about 70,000 shirts.
Well,
I
we're
mean,
talking about
let's-
$5,000 worth of shirts. That's a great.
Yeah,
start.
let's do something like that, and let's sell them, and let's multiply.
They will
them
not charge us a dime. I promise you, they will let us do what we need to do there.
at VMD
At
or
that Day in the Dirt as well, for
yeah.
sure.
we just, Mike, when I sit there and think of what you guys pull off with the budget that you are
Right.
pulling it off with, as a business person, and
All we're asking for is a practice lap.
At the Nations with the team. a
one parade lap on
One
an
parade-
86
one parade lap,
XR250.
3 XR250s.
Why are these XR250s?
They're red, white, and blue, Mike.
Yeah.
You know you owe us
Listen,
that.
How about
raised-
three
You can't beat
leprechauns
it.
Down the
Yeah, I
Jones?
know.
What,
Would you,
Chris?
would you settle for 3 leprechauns running down the Jones?
Oh,
Yeah,
3
okay.
leprechauns.
Okay, 3 leprechaun suits. We'll call it even.
Easy enough.
No, but I look at what you guys pull off, and I know, Christina, that's got to be a lot of you
Super stressful.
making
No.
things
No
happen.
offense, Mike. What are you talking about?
Wow.
No,
Way to
Christina
dog
is the
Mike out.
master,
Yeah.
It is.
dude.
It is.
Jesus.
I
It
know
is.
who's the
We
master.
know it is. I just didn't want you to feel bad.
100%.
I've got
Mike, we know
Chris
it is.
right here.
I didn't want you to feel bad.
I've got
I was
Paul.
just looking out for you.
got
No,
Mike.
no, it's true.
Okay,
No,
tell
there-
us.
it's a- it is a team.
Christina's to-do list is like a CVS receipt. It just keeps going. You can wrap yourself around it for this. for this
Yes.
event.
I think I saved one of those for the AMA museum from this year. It was pretty,
CVS.
yeah.
Brilliant.
It
I
was,
wore a CVS receipt for Halloween.
It said it was you wore it like a sash, like you were
Wore
Miss
like a
America.
G-string.
So tell me why we have not done this. Like, at Loretta's when I'm announcing, VMD when I'm announcing, Day in the Dirt. I
Because
guarantee you,
Nick just thought of it.
Because you just got Winners Take Y'all involved. That's
50
why.
grand you can make at those
Yeah,
races.
and I mean, this was our first year. The hat right there that you have in front of you, like this was our first year to do in the most recent years. I think in the past they tried it, and it was, we did have success, but we had some speed bumps and some things that we learned. We had a company sell them at the Outdoor National, and unfortunately that truck broke down before Loretta's, and so the merchandise didn't get out in front of the public, but we had it on our website.
Yeah.
And the response that we had was amazing. But unfortunately, we didn't know what kind of response. So all this product is sitting somewhere out west. And we needed that product to ship out the stuff.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it didn't get out in quick time that as we would liked. And I hate that because that's that's not how we do business, but it's not a representation of what's the future. And I don't want anybody.
No one thinks it is. For
well,
sure.
And where
Yeah.
out west is it? Is it close enough to Mammoth? We can just send it there for
for
June.
Yeah, and
we-
we'll sell it for you.
we ended up getting the product, and we actually had to order some more because the amount of people that were supporting it. So it was a test to say, okay, we have people behind us
Absolutely.
that will do it. And
I mean, this year that's in America, oh my God, you got some headway,
Yeah.
some steam you can be.
And we do. I mean, like I said, Day in the Dirt's huge. VMD is beyond huge. Like that'd be people that don't even do motocross.
Loretta's.
If
same
AMA
thing.
could add $5 to every ticket for VMD, it'd be done. $200K easily.
That's not gonna happen.
I know. I'm just
Great.
joking.
yeah, but I think
It's turned into such a big event. It's crazy.
yeah,
Yep.
but it takes some manpower to be at these events to
sure.
do it. And I mean, I would love to be able to sell them at every Supercross, every outdoor, but there's stuff, involved
Things
with
in the
that.
way,
And
yeah.
so, we're not there yet, but I think in the future, maybe so. But I think at Loretta's or, some of these races that there's a little bit more smaller
Some
control.
manageable, yeah.
There's no doubt. And
You send them with us. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
yeah,
I mean,
Exactly.
seriously,
You
Fireball
saw-
shirts for everybody. Woo!
you're not coming back with anything because you're going to sell it all.
We're
So
gonna sell that shit.
Yes.
Sick.
you're going to be calling me like, get the presses
That's
out.
a great problem, though.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, I'm amazed, Mike, at what you guys, at the level of effort of this year's event and how it looked. It looked like you had an unlimited budget, and I know for a fact there's no way you did. It's nice.
Yep.
I would love to.
Yep.
Like, I was just thinking about it. What if you did just send 3 people out on those damn beat ass XRs, and the whole crowd would be like,
Why is this happening? What the
what's
hell?
going on here?
Just make a
What's-
wish.
What are we
like,
doing?
Why are there,
Make a wish.
make a wish foundation?
for them.
Why are there
Stop.
3 leprechauns riding
XR250s.
XR250s around the track? Good Lord.
So, Mike, let's ask. So, you only race the pit bike race at Mid Ohio?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any desire
That's
to
plenty
race?
for me.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Do you have any?
There's only so much that hair can take, bro.
Hey,
In
I'm
all honesty, that white flag came out, and I looked back. I was like, it can't be. It has to be over by now. I was like, that's the
One
longest pit
more.
bike
Well,
race
you
I've
know
ever in my
why
life.
John's asking? Because we have an extra 1986 XR250.
we have 3 of those, and Kevin won't. Kevin's working,
So we'd be glad to put you on one for a race.
Yeah, fun. that would
Kevin's
be.
quote working.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's sitting in a golf cart talking,
Yep, getting sunburnt.
letting other people's tents get bush hogged, and whatever else he left
Oh,
out in the
man.
field.
John's still hurting. I left his easy. Okay.
Kevin, some of the stuff you dropped though on that microphone, and especially with the
Gold,
crowd at
dude.
BMD, it's insane. It's
It's
awesome.
gold.
The best
So-
part, the funniest shit was when we were in the camper by the hair scramble start.
Yeah, I
And-
announced that entire hair scrambles from our camper
And
because I could see
nobody
everything.
knew where it was coming from.
And everybody's, they'd all walk by.
Oh,
and I
he'd
could
be
see-
calling dudes. He's like, "Sir, in the black shirt with the backpack there,
Drink
just,
that beer."
just going off on these dudes.
Where are you?
And the people would stop and they'd be looking at the sky like, "Is that you, God? Are you speaking to me right now?"
we
And
watched
stop playing with yourself. It is God.
a guy get hung. The motorcycle got hung wide open. They had to get stitches.
We didn't know what was happening right on that
Yeah,
one. Just
they-
like, why is that lady
Hit that
dancing?
girl.
around?
Yeah.
Yeah, she got messed up,
The motorcycle sticks wide open, is plowing into a fence, and she's on it.
and this bike's just
It's
attacking
bucking
her. It
like a
won't stop.
bronco, dude. It would not let
And I was
up.
like, "Good Lord!" And then the next day, she goes, "Yeah, that was me and my kid getting hit by that motorcycle, just getting rammed." And rammed. It wouldn't stop. It was
stuck.
a
So.
bizarre scene. to
Kevin's
catch.
like, God, that's terrible. You signed a waiver, right?
Yeah, you're good. Everybody signs that waiver, brother. No doubt. Hey, Mike, I want to just switch gears a little bit, and since we haven't had you on in ever.
Well, mostly
Hey.
because
Sure.
he just runs from you so
Yeah, because
hard.
you can't hide.
Yeah.
Tell me like the rules and Supercross and
All the rules. Go
just
through
tell
the
me
rule
every
book.
rule. Start at rule 1 and then all the way to the end.
Don't
All
worry, I
right, you
brought
guys
the rule
sitting down.
book.
Rule 1.
Christina has the rule book.
Good.
Rule 1 is you don't talk about the AMA.
Like no, you're
Rule
like
number 2 is you don't talk about the
like the red flags and the like the disqualifications or number of positions and why it looks different. Like to the average fan, like, oh, this guy did the same thing. He only got docked 2 positions. This guy got docked 5. Like we saw that
Sometimes they get docked
back to back
points.
weekends. Things happen and one person did this and one person did that. What is the process of when you see it happen? How fast do you act? Who makes the call? Like, does it go to a committee? Like, how does that whole deal work?
Yeah, so we've built that over the last, 10 years or so. It used to be one person making the decisions, the race director, essentially.
Fitch.
So we've changed that to a race direction, which is more of a committee because, 3 minds I feel is better than 1. So there's a group of us that look at it. We have replay systems upstairs for Supercross. So we can look at things live time. But for the rule book, we've made improvements to the rule book that are set penalties now, which is a big step forward. We've only done that in the last few seasons. But say, okay, if you jump on a red cross, for example, this is the penalty. So it's 5 points or whatever it is, or whatever the infraction is. But there's a chart in the rule book now where it kind of takes the conversation away. And if you do this infraction, this is the penalty. Now there's some infractions in that rule book that it goes based off severity. So there's still some gray area. So if you go across the racetrack and you cut maybe a tough block or something, it's going to be a different penalty than if you cut from section 9
so there is
all
some
the way over
discretion
to
in there. You guys can use your
13,
head.
of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. So, and then it goes down to, did they pass someone on the racetrack while they're off the racetrack? So that's more of a severe penalty. So there's some discretion in it. It's more fairly set now, which is even helping officiate, when we're looking at a chart instead of just talking about it. But there's always going to be discretion and little leeways there of, severity, things like that. So sometimes it looks like it's different, but if you go back to a red cross situation, I think this year we had, if you guys remember, I think it was St. Louis when the top 5 jumped on the red cross, or
Yep.
it was one of those situations. And a rider, I forget who it was at this point, but jumped twice. He did it 2 laps in a row. So his penalty was more severe than the guys that just did it once, for example.
Fair enough.
But if you don't know that or the behind the scenes conversation, it looks like one rider was penalized more severe for the same infraction, which it just isn't the case.
So you are able to go back to your videos. Let's say I'm the lead guy. I'm leading. And then the red flags, I mean, as I'm cresting the jump, he's pulling the flag out. It's this perfect time and space where there's no chance I could have checked up for that red flag. What is your ruling on, am I good to go? Or, there's no way I could have stopped.
No, we look at that too. If a rider's committed up or he's just looking up and he's on the face of a triple or something and that flag's just coming out, there's discretion there. And if we feel like it's not a blatant disregard of the flag, so I think that's the wording that we use in the rule book, we'll give a consideration to that. And we've not penalized riders for that scenario of, okay, there's no way he could have done anything else in that moment when that flag came out and he doesn't receive a penalty.
Do you ever say things like, Kevin Kelly could have stopped before that?
Yeah, if he could stop, anybody could stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
You say things like that.
The
I mean, that
Kevin
would
Kelly
help add
rule, right.
validity
Yeah, because if I can
Yeah,
stop
to
for
your
it,
ruling. Because they'd be like, oh, hell, man.
He
damn.
sucks. He
If Kevin
definitely-
could have stopped, then you're
Sure.
right, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that opens their eyes when I bring Kevin into it.
Sure.
For sure.
And dude, I've seen like in the last 7 or 8 years, I've seen more red flags. And I'm coming from a promoter. I'm always err on the side of caution. I got no problem with red flags. I don't care if you're winning, have the best race of your life going. I don't care. I've seen more of those. Like, is there a concerted effort to take care of the riders, take care of your staff out on the racetrack, protecting these guys? I think I know the answer.
There is, and it's unique on a red flag because say we have a gate malfunction or something, that's an easy decision. We're going to start over. We're going to do things like that. Now, when it comes to a rider down or something, we're really in communication with the radio with medical, and we lean on the medical professionals to see where we are. We're also taking account of where they are on the racetrack, what they're telling us. If they can't get the rider off mobily and they need to stop the race, they'll let us know. And always on the side of caution, we do that for sure.
Now, what about track obstacles? And because we've been kind of toying with, like at TKO, they had Resi whoops. And
Kevin wants to castrate pro motocross.
No, I'm the most old school moto guy, but I'm also
except for this idea.
no, but I'm just all right. Just 20 years from now, I might not be an asshole for saying this, but 20 years from now, we may have
We'll be racing spaceships.
spec whoops made out of resi. We did it at TKO this year. Did you notice that? They had full-fledged whoops at TKO. They were made out of resi. They didn't break down. They didn't kill guys. I'm just saying if it increases, I'm not saying make them small, make them some bitches big
Nick.
or whatever. You can make the dirt underneath it.
What is your thoughts on this?
My thought is
before we talk to Pelletier about it.
Well, what I felt about the resi whoops with those, they was in Nashville. It was on.
Here we go. You're not,
He was
just
there.
forget
Nick was
this.
there.
You're not going to get
No, he was
It was on
there.
a Saturday night.
Here we go.
And I blame them for every bit of them making me pass out before dinner.
Yes.
That's-
See,
see,
Mike,
that's-
we don't need this in AMA Pro Sports.
Yeah. I mean, that whole thing, I was so depressed
You're an
about
idiot.
those whoops, I drank myself into a stupor.
Yeah, and he never
In that
does
pool.
that.
He never does that. Anyway, what are your thoughts going forward? Like in 20 years, do you see like jumps that are pre-designed kind of things, or maybe they built it with dirt, lay resi pads over it? I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box. I mean, everybody's talking about
I
those
think we
rolled
always
in
have to.
whoops in your face.
Always think outside the box on that. I don't, you know what I mean? If we're not looking to advance and grow and be unique and develop, then we're going to be stuck in the past. So I think we always have to look at that. I mean, you can ask someone, an opinion walking down the street. It's going to vary from what you and I think or someone else. So that's challenging. But, when we look at obstacles and distance of triples or whoop sets or how they're built, things like that, try to be as consistent as we can. And I think that helps all around. But to your point, Kevin, there's no reason to not look at all of that stuff. Why not?
I mean, you can make them big. They just don't have to fall apart and kill guys. I just like to have all my guys there at the end of the
So
season.
you like fake whoops?
Absolutely love them, especially out west.
You fake whoops, you like them because they are big and they're firm. And they don't break or away.
Yes, they're always good. Age
The
70,
whoops,
they're still
the
great looking.
fake whoops
Great
never,
looking fake whoops.
Like the fake whoops.
I'm the asshole here
you
now,
can be
right?
80 years old and these fake whoops are not going to sag.
They won't fall
I
apart.
kind of
on-
get what you're saying now, Kevin.
Thank
I'm
you.
getting on board a little bit.
That's the point he's been trying to make.
I'm just saying. I think there's maybe a place for it. Like,
Kevin's face generally doesn't turn red during the
no,
show.
that made me laugh. That made me laugh. I'm just like, even like rain races. There's a text thread of me, Wygant, and Jeremy from Red Bull, and every time it rains, I'm like, oh my god, I hate rain races. I'm like, just put them in the domes. Forget these outdoor races. I am so sick of. And I know there's markets where I get it, but man, we had a shit ton of rain races this year.
There was a lot of rain.
There was a lot of rain, for sure.
And I know it's a challenge for everybody. And I feel sorry. The guy that I think about every time one of those rain races happen is the dude that has to
Johnny Knowles.
clean all of those damn tough blocks.
Oh, I thought you were talking about goggles.
I have to clean 12 tough blocks up for my Red Bull mini motos, and it is a
Oh,
bitch.
Kevin spent a
It's a
long
bitch.
time wiping tough blocks,
And
there was
ready
only
to go.
12 of them.
And they were ready to go at my last deployment last weekend.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll tell you what, Kevin.
Yep.
Those guys working the side of that racetrack are unsung heroes.
Dude, I get it.
Unbelievable.
They
What
are.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
I mean, just think if they're like, oh, it rained all weekend and you got to pressure wash 212 tough balls.
And
That would
all
be
the
terrible.
all the signage, the berm, all the the berm things. I mean, there's a shit ton of stuff out there on that racetrack.
Could you imagine Nick watching?
And for the
that
most
stuff?
part,
No.
we're leaving Sunday.
Is
Like
it-
we're not even we weren't even there.
And it's clean before they go in that truck.
that stuff's got to be soaking wet in the truck and stinking.
Yeah.
It's got to stink at
Crazy.
the next race, right? I
Well,
mean,
kudos to
moldy,
those guys.
mildewy. Just throw it in there wet. Son.
I bet you run through some tough block washer uppers because them dudes ain't hanging
They're
around.
like, man, this sucks.
12 rain races this year. This sucks.
I'm over it, Mike. This ain't worth it.
They're incredible. Yeah, they really are. And especially, we had a lot of rain races, if I remember. Like, I just keep thinking about San Francisco. That was a rain race for sure.
Oh, me too.
The good
Stop
old
it.
San Francisco.
Christina, you were about to say something.
No, I was just saying, like, we are, the AMA staff is, we're last ones to leave out of the paddock, but there's everybody from Feld.
Oh.
I mean, they're just getting started.
And you're tired when you leave.
Yeah. And they've been there all day. I mean, I don't even know how they do it, but they do it. And you go back the next day, like Mike's saying,
Still rolling.
they're either still rolling or they're already
Or
done.
out.
Oh, yeah.
There's
there were
no
days-
stopping.
I remember back in the Georgia Dome, like they'd have the race on Saturday night and they had a football game on Sunday. So the
That's
Falcons
not
played the next day. Like
Yeah.
it
Not
was something
good.
crazy.
Yeah.
It'll be a night game.
Yeah, it'd have to be, right?
That's one thing in being this role. And, with the team, you're in and out. You get there pretty early, but you're done. You wrap up and you leave. And then being part of this and seeing the back side of the operations, not only with the AMA but with Feld and the staff and everything. It's really something I wish everybody could see at some point.
Yeah, because we get to see what we get to see, and we don't know about the backstories and stuff. But like in France, you guys went to Normandy.
Yeah.
You make this
You were
trip.
there?
You work your tail off.
God, y'all were in Normandy?
They were not.
amazing.
They were not in Normandy. They went.
Saw
They
that.
did. They
I was about
weren't.
to have,
This should be in black and white.
I respected them
Yeah,
already.
you guys are fully in color right
That's
now.
crazy.
I know.
But no, so you after the race, you made. I mean, I know you work your tail off leading up to that thing, and it starts in January. It's not like
Yeah.
we
No,
just get after it in August, right?
It starts the day we get back.
It starts
Yeah.
in January when we pick the team the day before.
Isn't that wild? All this preparation.
Yeah.
We're like, ugh,
You'd think you guys would pick the team a little sooner.
he better be a
I
size
mean,
large.
gosh, I
We'll-
don't
we'll
know
work
what
on
y'all
it this
waiting
year.
on.
Yeah.
If he's
This
not
year's
large,
gonna be
oh,
easy.
God.
But I like the fact that you made it to things I didn't get to go see. So when Erne was announced, I'm kind of like, oh man, we just went there, and I understand the economics of why Erne makes sense, right? But I'm going to circle and go see the things that you guys went and saw,
You need to.
and I didn't do it. I went to England and
Do we have
Paris.
dates yet?
I have hotels booked already.
Do you?
Christina
have-
don't play, son.
He's a beast.
Does that mean you have our hotel booked already?
Yeah, Mike, let me tell you this story. So Christina says, hey, you need to book your hotel.
I'm going to interrupt real quick. Christina, I had faith in you the whole time.
Well, I just don't have memory. It's
Yeah.
not that I don't have faith in Christina. So she says, hey, I'll go ahead and get you a room because, you need to go ahead and do this. And I said, yeah, do it. And then I'm like, 4 to 5 months later, I'm like, God, I never booked a room. So I call and book this swanky place, and we're racing at Mammoth.
Well,
And
hold on. Tell them how much it was a night.
what was it? Over
12
1,000.
yeah, $1,200
It's over
a night.
1,000. So 1,200.
Idiot.
1,200. Yeah, a night.
A night.
Mike goes, a night?
I know who our new sponsor is.
I mean, I've stayed in new
Yes.
places, nice places. It was classy, but
It ain't $1,200 classy.
So, yeah, so,
1,200
but I got
pounds.
Nick Blackman with me. So it's
John's
like,
like, hey, I got us a room, but it's kind of expensive. Never says it. I'm
$600 a
like,
person.
All right, cool.
You're in. Cool. Thanks.
but we're at Mammoth, and
I'd have been out
there's
of
these
that
dudes
trip.
from England, and they go, hey, where are you staying for the donations? And I look up my room, and I tell him, he goes, ooh.
Yeah, they were
This
like,
guy, I could barely understand him. but
He's staying in
Ooh
a
la
castle.
la.
They were like, they literally said, however their accent was that John couldn't understand. They were like,
They're
"Oh,
from England.
You guys are royalty. Y'all-
Royalty.
royalty.
Royalty. So I mentioned to Christina, like, God dang, this room's expensive. And she goes, it's not that bad. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not that bad? It's freaking $1,200 a night. And she's like, what are you talking about? And at this point, it's starting to flicker that, oh yeah, we had this conversation. And I
year
feel so
ago.
dumb.
Did you cancel that room though?
I canceled it,
Okay,
and I got
God.
all my money back.
And what was your room?
You didn't get my
I don't
money
even know.
back. We
Oh,
paid half the,
Busted.
I'm still out at $1,200 on the one we canceled.
That's what you get, son.
Stupid.
Yeah, those guys were so impressed. They're like, "Oh, you guys are staying there." We're like,
Very fancy.
Yeah. So anyway, my point is, it's like you guys. I don't know if you took those steps, Mike, to do something after the event and go because you work your tail off, and it's like, do you take a minute after the race? Do you go see something cool?
You just go to Tinder.
Yeah, I try to, and you guys know because I haven't been on the show lately, but I've been doing a lot of international trips, and I just mentally have to try to separate there a little bit. So I'll try to go a day or two, and Normandy was what an experience that was. So I think so because you start in January for A1 and you blink and it's December, and then all of a sudden you're
Yes.
prepping for A1 again. So
Time
if you don't
does
take
fly,
that
right?
time,
Hurts my heart.
it's impossible for sure. So absolutely.
Well, so I had this goal, and I never knew that this was going to be my goal. But I said, hey man, when I retire one day, I'm going to the Motocross of Nations, no matter where it's at in the world. And then I made some comment about Latvia, and so Nick just spilled a bunch of Fireball, and he's squeezing the rag
Squeezed it out of the bounty
Yeah,
into
this
his
is a
mouth.
commercial for Bounty.
It is a bounty. It's a quicker picker
That was
up.
a full shot in that
in the paper towel.
and then it's in his mouth.
God,
Anyway,
and now ants are chewing on our legs. And anyway,
wet that. God dang it. Sorry, Mike.
So I
this is why
always-
you don't want to be on this show. I understand why you avoided us, dude.
well, speaking of international travel, though, you're traveling now, right?
I'm actually leaving Monday for Spain. We have a road race in Jerez for the Intercontinental Games. So we're taking a North American team over. So a lot going on. It never really stops.
It does not stop for you, man. I mean, I can't imagine. But deep down, you love motorcycles, right? I mean, that's what started this that's what started your career in this field, or no? Tell me your background.
What's your story, you idiot?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I know this wasn't all skinny jeans and fancy hair.
Yeah, let's get to the meat and potatoes of Mike Pelletier.
There's no other job or industry I could picture myself in anymore. It's one of those. So Roy Jansen made a comment. I've never worked a day in my life, and I really feel that. There's times it's hard, and I'm losing hair, but I'm getting second in pit bike races, so it evens out. But it's really an
that's
incredible
a frameable
situation.
quote.
So I grew up racing and wanted to stay in it. Went to college. Knew I was never going to be the superstar you guys are seeing.
Were you
on
a
TV,
part of the NESC, bro?
NESC of my New England crew up
Wicked,
there. Special place in my
awesome.
heart, for sure.
Mikey
for
Treadwell,
sure. Jimmy
bro.
D, all those guys.
Jolly Rogers.
It's a wicked piss
Did you race Jolly Rogers, bro?
I'll tell you what, that group up there with the 20+2s and every weekend with those A gates up there, man, that's
dudes.
some serious racing up there. Bad dudes.
It is, man.
Bad
They stay in that little area. A lot of those guys will just go up there and just kick the shit out of guys. It's
competition is pure hell. Why do they need to leave?
That's why AJ Catanzaro, Jimmy D could just. I never said their names until they finally just erupted out of the B class. I'm like, who the frick are these guys, man? AJ Catanzaro, bro, wicked fast in the curves.
Wicked pissa.
He's wicked quick in the curves.
Yeah.
The first time I announced
in New England, man.
Yes, and Don Collins corrected me when I was announcing in Texas. He goes, "It's Catanzaro, bro. He's at Winchester every weekend."
That's really
True story.
That's a true story. So it's a serious blessing to not look at the clock and be counting the minutes till time to get off. And Christina, I would imagine you and Chris.
She's looking at her clock right now. I need to go.
She's looking at her clock right now, but this ain't work. This is different. This is a sucky party that she got stuck in, right?
Screwed.
But it's a serious blessing to not look at the clock and be like, oh my God, 4 more hours till quitting time. You're not doing
Absolutely.
that ever.
No.
And honestly, you're still, at the end of the day, you're talking about motorcycles. It could be a lot worse. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's, no matter what's going on, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, we agree. We talk about them a lot.
But Mike, don't you agree? Like even at the races, we could be there for hours after the last moto, and whether we have issues or not. But I think we all truly get along really well, and we have a good group. And to be able to not just be like, okay, I gotta get out of here right now, and it's super cool.
It's a great team. It's a great team, and some of those issues, especially at Supercross or motocross, they're high profile, and they're tough to navigate with personalities and penalties and things like that. But we're
not rushing, and we're not like, okay,
exactly.
I got a plane to catch, or we just know not to never book flights Saturday night. But I think it's something that just 3 years that I've been involved, from the first year to even just last year, I think we've grown as a team, and I mean AMA, and like I said, I think more people in see it. Y'all seen it?
If you could get rid of one person on your team, who would it be?
Mike, you didn't hear that. You didn't hear that. Say it again, Mike.
Yeah, who's the one person in your team you hate that you just don't tell anybody about?
Yeah, nobody listens to our show. If you could get rid of one person, the weak link in your AMA chain of command there.
God.
Man, there isn't. I'm telling you. There really isn't.
Hey, and there are periods of life where it's like that.
There's nobody I would get rid of.
That's fortunate.
Yeah.
You didn't put the wall up even.
Think of it this way. When something's going on in the stadium and you guys are watching a race and it is tight, it's crazy, the place is going insane, then something happens and the crowd goes crazy. Christina and I and the AMA are the only ones in the building going, oh, well, no.
Oh, no. You're the anti-cheer.
Yeah.
You're the opposite.
The crowd roars and you're like, oh shit.
No.
Here it goes.
Yeah, here we go again.
It's plus replay.
Yeah. Maybe it's not that bad.
But even like the closest I've been to it was in England. And it felt so family, so homey. You know what I mean? Like it was, I understand it's because we were in a hostile environment, but it was,
Why was
we
hostile?
all have different roles
because,
too.
we've been at it with England for hundreds of years.
Oh, Nick felt the hostility of us leaving to set up a new country.
Yeah.
colonizing
If I
America.
heard that once, I heard it 100 times while I was over there.
And
1776.
you brought up
shit.
a good point. The family is motocross nations for sure, but with the series and the riders and the officials and the families, we're traveling 31 weeks together now. It's hard not to become somewhat of a family and closer, and that's turned into a unique situation too. It's good to see everybody.
Man, it's rare.
You're almost sad when it's over, huh?
No.
Not at all. I hate these people. God, I cannot wait.
Absolutely.
That's closer than family because I don't know anybody could travel with their family for 31 weeks
No, we're not doing
and
that.
everything work out.
Good point.
At least you're getting paid to do that. You would be
Man,
like,
that's a lot of weeks.
there's no plan B like in a marriage.
31 weeks doesn't count the motocross nations. It doesn't count this road race you're doing. It doesn't. I know you might not have the whole team on this road race deal, but you're not traveling 31 weeks.
No, it's more than that. I'm mid 40s or so probably.
Yeah. It's
How
a
many
matter
weeks
now,
are
like
you?
not.
40.
I don't call Mike and be like, "Are you there?" I'm like, "Where are you?
Yes,
What
I
time
already
zone
know
are you
you're
in?"
traveling. Yes,
Yeah.
where are you?
What? There's only 60 weeks in a year, right?
There's 61
Yeah,
weeks
there you go.
Yeah.
per year.
Your math is spot
That's
on,
what they
man.
tell Mike. Look, man, it's not that bad. There's 61 weeks.
You're only
74.
traveling half the time.
Yeah, you're like, God.
Man up, dude.
Dude, it's easy.
You still got 45 weekends to chill out at home.
So, Mike, yes or
Exactly.
no? 86 XR250 full factory effort from the Winners Take Y'all squad. I mean, could you see yourself laying down some hair scramble laps or
A motocross
say a
lap.
moto lap?
I'd have to stick to the motocross. The trees are like magnets for me.
Well, let's do it.
So if I do it, it's going to have to
With
be
the
on
QR
motocross.
code, so everybody you beat has to donate.
They have to pay you.
Would you try to beat people if we put you on a dialed XR250?
Absolutely.
No,
With
by
a big
we-
QR
hey,
code on my back.
And
Yes.
by dialed, we mean fresh graphics.
It runs.
We mean shiny plastic.
It runs.
The rest
It's got
of it
tires.
sucks.
Dude, they had a good time. There's like there's no jumps you can get hurt on unless you're just.
No, but
No.
I tried that triple thing, man. My Achilles still acts up. Because the airbox hit the swing arm when I landed off of it.
Other than that,
You hear the tire grinding the swing of the airbox. You're like,
well, we're gonna
Yeah,
hold
why
you
does
to
it grind when you land off these jumps?
Like a club.
okay, we're about to have some full on. Go ahead and put us down. We need some winners take y'all graphics too. With the QR
Just go ahead and
code.
put us down, Christina, because
With
you know
the
she's
QR
always got an
code
order
to
pad.
donate.
Yeah.
Right? With the QR code to donate.
Yes. Donate for Team USA.
Yes.
Right here.
We
Not
need
to
that
us.
for the
Because all the
XRs.
people riding, they have their phones when
And,
they're racing.
Yeah, when they're racing, they're like constantly looking at social media and looking at QR codes.
Hey, we need them on the big bikes. Like we were in South Dakota, those people that donated a tooth or something.
Yeah. A couple of arrowheads.
Yeah.
Man, we got these two Shoshone arrowheads. Y'all cool with that? Is that a donation?
I'm not donating a tooth. I've only got one left.
Over we got Shoshone arrowhead.
We had problems with Latvia before, and I think now we've got problems with
Everybody in Europe.
what's that shithole town called?
Sturgis.
Yeah.
We don't know why these people keep having flare ups over us.
Shithole town. Well, Mike, we're gonna. Where are you at again? Currently and presently at the.
I'm in
very
Ohio
moment?
right now.
Okay.
You guys
Okay.
caught a good day. Yeah, for
Good.
sure.
Oh,
I'm leaving Monday for Spain, and we'll keep you guys posted for sure.
Fragile.
we don't know about road races and we don't know about this event, but we are the biggest
all right.
fans of the motocross nations you have ever seen in your life.
Done. That's the important thing right there.
Yes.
for sure.
Well, let us help you.
We will be part of the fundraising effort
Yeah.
for 25.
I appreciate that.
And beyond, because
Absolutely.
I cannot believe the way the effort looks versus the budget that I'm thinking you guys are probably working with. It's amazing. You've done a great job. We can feel the tide turning.
Awesome. I appreciate any help, guys, for sure.
Well, thanks for being on. Thanks for finally getting tracked down, you douchebag.
It's not because of you, Kevin.
I know it's not because of me.
Christina
I asked
Denney.
500 times. I got all the texts. I'll run these things out into the general public.
Hey, one last thing, Mike. I asked Christina, I said, hey, how did Mike sound when you asked him? Was
Very
he like,
hesitant.
was he like, God, these guys, now they're going through you?
They are relentless. I was going to call your mom, Mike. They want to talk to you.
They're saying something about your hair, your jeans, and your shoes.
I love you, skinny jeans. Talk to him.
She
Mike.
tricked him. He came in.
That's what I wanted too.
he
I
answered
wanted
the-
that coming on here. I wanted to open with skinny jeans.
He was
Perfect.
answered
didn't.
the phone
That's a
like
lie.
Spicoli. There's no birthday party for me here.
Spicola.
Shows up. Get in front of the mic, you idiot.
So
Mike,
dumb.
have a nice evening, buddy. Safe travels.
Safe travels to that race.
All right, guys. Great chat.
See you, Mike.
And we'll do it again.
See you at Mid Ohio.
See ya.
Love you, Mike.
All right.
I love you, Mike.
Dang it! Why does he not love you?
I don't know.
Poor
Nobody
John's.
After all the effort,
John's sleeping.
John's sleeping.
The guy walks in. He walks right up the stairs, looks to his right, goes, Jesus Christ, mate.
What did you do to your friend? I'm David Dewhurst. There's one of those books up there on the shelf somewhere.
It really is a badass
Christina needs
book.
to see if she and Chris can lift it together.
It's a two-person lift, no doubt.
It's got a sign on it that says "Do not
Two-person
live."
lift.
Poor
You're
old
like,
Nick. I helped him get rid of $150. I'm like, but dude,
It is a badass book.
it is.
It is that thick.
It
is
is
gloriously
every
printed.
works
Every photo.
bike, every cool race, every
Cool photo.
everything. So, is Mike? He's from the New England area.
Definitely.
He doesn't sound like
Nah.
Jimmy freaking D.
No,
or-
he can go into that little zone or whatever. I just know he's a Patriots guy, so I went in on that.
Yeah. No, his mom and dad are 100%.
they sound
Yeah.
like the
Wicked
New England.
awesome. Mikey's a boy.
They're awesome though. You know,
That's-
Mike's dad drives the AMA semi.
Yeah,
Come
I think
on,
I,
I
I
didn't
think
know
I knew
that.
that.
Yeah.
No, I've heard that before.
That's cool.
Yeah, super, super awesome. And
Nepotism.
and then Gail, Mama Gail.
She's got to come on the road, right?
She comes some. Yeah, she, she'll pick and choose the good ones.
The close ones.
I always had this desire. I always liked big diesel stuff. And I was like, man, I just want to drive an 18-wheeler coast to coast. And I'd like to get paid for it.
Steve
one
Markey,
time.
He's got 2 trucks.
Only one time. I just need to be,
CDL.
yeah, there and back. I need load to haul there, load to haul back.
If you can pick up a truckload of Coors,
Yes, there we go.
I was thinking this sounds like a
How
plot.
many hours do I
Feels
have?
like smoking.
Please tell me you know this one.
You
I do
big
know
dummy.
this one.
Yeah.
you get back with it in 36 hours.
What about some clam chowder?
Yes.
So I just always had that as like a goal. And then these clowns talked me into these adventure rides. It ain't near as cool because I don't have an 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
You could.
I still stop at the truck stops, but I can back all the way in. And I can't even hear their engines running because I'm so far back. So,
His carbon monoxide goes alarm
God,
goes off.
dude, I
He
couldn't
can't ever
sleep
figure out
all the
why.
way
He's
up
parked
and all
next
the
to
way
2
back.
tractor trailers, and it just sucks all their fumes. About kills him. He's like,
Why is this alarm going off? And I'm trying to sleep in the truck.
that's always the deciding factor. Where are you at? Oh, in a truck stop next to 2 trucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so
Oh,
sleepy.
those sleeping trucks.
So sleepy.
Dang.
Hey, at this Red Bull non-stock 600 thing I just did, they had all these themed up go-karts, and the best one, dude, this dude crushed it. He had a full tractor trailer, and he rolled his damn Trans Am out of the back of that thing. And he drove, and he had to drive out and do the presentation. Now we're all wearing the suits and stuff. He backed this bitch out. Trans Am, I mean, it was a mini tractor trailer, 15 foot long. Full go-kart fit in the bed of the thing,
A
covered up.
mini tractor trailer.
For real. It was
Do you
awesome.
want to know what makes me mad about that scene in Smokey and the Bandit? He puts Fred's paws on the hood of that 77 Trans Am. And I don't know if you're aware of black GM paint,
Oh,
but it shows any mark. You could breathe on that thing wrong and scratch it up. But it's the baddest thing to see that Trans Am, and then them Basset Hound paws just.
look at that. I mean, come on.
That's insane. And
Let's
her
see, Kev.
ass was
Look.
wiggling too.
What?
Look, they drove that out there. They're in a wedding dress, just
show
like
them,
Sally
dude.
Fields.
That is sweet.
What?
That's
Oh
Frog.
my god.
That's Frog.
Frog and the Bandit.
That was when
That's awesome.
when Jackie Gleason's talking about her leaving the wedding because Frog had the wedding dress, and he goes, her ass was wiggling too.
That's why you said
So
that.
what kind of event was that?
It was a like a flutog or a soapbox race. Basically, you just theme out your go kart, and they had NASCAR teams that prefab stuff. They had like just a guy in a big ass bathtub. They were the bathtub boys, and this thing shot water and bubbles. And they were bathing while they were racing. I'm like, how is this thing? He was a menace. He was just going left and just crashing into people the whole time.
Was
He didn't have
water
a,
slushing everywhere?
yeah, and he didn't care about winning. He just wanted to.
See, I
just,
probably need to go with you to one of these
You
and
would
just
love that.
spectate, man.
They were cool. They were
the people watching has to be off the
Yeah,
charts.
it's
'cause-
great.
So how do these people know about these events?
Because
Like,
Red Bull is a marketing.
yeah, but I don't care. Homeboy had to know to make a bathtub
'Cause they
race
got-
car like 2 years ago.
They got to them and they provided the go karts.
And
they spent
homeboy with the
94,000
18-wheeler.
They spent $94,000 in go karts. The teams that got awarded the prize of building a
go-kart
go-kart.
grant?
They gave you
Don't tell Nick
they
this.
gave you
He's
the
gonna think
go-kart.
we need to race.
They gave you
Yes.
the go kart and you got to race the go. I mean, they had full Daytona pits. Like the pits were insane. Like they had a full paddock.
And how
all
did we
built.
not have a go kart in this thing?
See, Nick, I knew it. He's going to think we need to do this.
We could wrap it.
I was going to say, here
Oh,
goes
you could.
here goes the queen and king of go kart like you guys got a couple of people with go-karts that you
Just got to have a theme.
We
Just
need
gotta
to
have
do
a
one like
good theme.
Animal House with the big thing, like a cake that says "Eat me" on it.
I knew he would know the theme. You don't even have to tell Nick what the event's called when it is. He just knows.
Yeah, the Red Bull Nonstock 600 is cool as shit. They had 20 go-karts. They had news. The news was there racing. News team assemble from Anchorman. They were the guy.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
They had all the different.
They have
things.
microphones and stuff going around the track, still
Yep.
sitting there
Yep.
acting like they're news.
They were actually
A
news.
little
They were from the
18
news,
go
too.
kart, like a little 18 van, and you dress up like dude.
That'd be perfect.
B.A. Baraka.
You just make him, knock him out or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ain't gonna fly no plane.
Yeah. So all right, that
Next
sounds
year,
like that needs to be on my plans. I mean, we don't do anything anyway most of the
Yeah,
year.
we had plenty of weekends left.
As much as I complained about my schedule, you guys did 30 times what I did, and I thought I was busy.
It's busy, but we try to really kind of plan it out. And
How often do you get to go with Christina, Chris?
I don't go to the races much anymore. I go to a couple. Man, I had my 10 years of traveling and going.
But
to
you
races.
did go.
Yeah,
Like there was a
yeah.
time when you did.
She enjoys it still. I like playing at home.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm
And-
heavy into mountain biking now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ride a lot
I'm
of
still on
mountain
the lake
bikes.
a lot. So yeah, I'm
Perfect.
that was really cut down on those 10 years.
You got remarried as well. It's been really good to you, man.
yeah,
What?
Just made that up.
I mean,
you were doing a hell of
I'm
a
sitting there
job.
looking, waiting for the. What are y'all
You
talking
were
about?
doing a hell of a job of the nation's filming, going over there.
That's
John
right.
and I saw him over there taking
Be able to
video.
go
Hey,
around the track for
And
sure.
it's pretty interesting. I don't want to give away the beans here, but like it was pretty epic to see how you could analyze sections of a track and break down who's faster and let's try to figure
What
out
line's
why
faster?
they're
Yeah.
faster. Why is this dude able to pull a second in
Did you guys
these
have
four
lit pros or did y'all just visualize it or?
No, it's all just video comparison. We have
Right.
software that it's not so much like Dartfish and Supercross because it's static cameras. So we got to film the other guy and really comparison and have start points, and you can really
It was
nail down
badass. though.
to just minute details to tenth of a second and see exactly.
Well, Chris could pick a something out of the background and he could say, "Hey, right
When he
here,
crosses
here's a
this.
background." And here's so and then another thing you did which was I don't know, we don't get a look into the inner sanctum, right? So the entire track, we're going to break down sections, and Chris got the actual data of from this fence post to the edge of the hot dog vendor, it took this many seconds for so and so, but it took our guy this many seconds. Why? And then he can overlay those two videos. You can see the top screen, bottom screen. It just shows that
And you're not the only guy doing that. You didn't just come up with that. I'm sure you
I
guys
can
are
guarantee you that wasn't happening for a number of years.
it wasn't.
for sure.
No,
for
It
sure.
wasn't. And honestly, Redbud 22 was when we were like, we are going to do this, and brought in Brian McDonald, who's a data guy. He works with a lot of factory riders. He worked with us and our team, and together we had a little tinier, smaller little headquarters that we broke down these segments, and these guys are just in there cramming numbers, and Roger's going in there, Swanepoel's going in there, Eli's dad is going in there, and it's something that up until that race we've never done it.
Super cool.
And so since then, like Chris has been going with me because I've been going to Motocross Nation since 16, and then 22 was the first effort that I really brought him along because I was like, we're missing so much. But it's a 100% volunteer position. It's not like there's a staff that the teams have, and the teams have those people every weekend
For the
especially
nationals.
For the nationals, but
Yeah.
outdoors, that's not happening that much like it is in Supercross. But they came up with a way to make it happen and make it happen quick. And so obviously it was a success for us in 22 and, brought them to Paris, and then of course England. And we'll never go back from that. And this year you see here what happened.
Yeah.
And then, Chris printed for those of you not seeing, like he printed this 4-foot track map and waited till we got there to find out where the segments are, put these little stickers where segments are. And and it's something where all the riders are sitting. You've got Coker over there. You got JT in there looking at this and going over it. And, you know, sitting back and sitting even on the other side of the wall and hearing these guys talk strategy together. These are the key things that really play difference. But then it was really cool because Jet and Hunter came over because Doc G works on those guys, right?
Right.
And, you know, come on in, go get get worked on. They're looking over and they're seeing that and they're just like, man, that's super cool. You know, but it's
Dang it.
you know, obviously it was, you know, something that they just saw and whatever, but it's like, it's little strategy tips that are going to make and break every year. And these things that we're just going to continue to do.
John and I had a whole stack of napkins that we made notes on Saturday.
Yep.
That we didn't get to, like,
Because you ate so many chili dogs
yeah,
and
we
wiped
didn't
all that
have
shit
to,
off.
but let y'all in on
So
Sunday.
Nick saw that track map and he added his own little like things to what you would do in those sections. And he goes, now look, guys, this right here is a good place to pop a wheelie. And then up here,
Look
they
at the
got the
crowd.
best
Hot dogs.
with sauerkraut. And so try to get a whiff when you go by because, man, they smell good. You know,
That's why you take the outside line at the top up there.
Yeah.
to get a whiff of those
Yeah.
hot dogs with
That's right.
sauerkraut.
See? You need that outside. You need that out of the box thinking here. These guys provide.
I think we need to like give the guys QR codes to throw off the track while they're going around.
While they're
next
riding,
year.
donate
Even
to
better.
Team USA.
right now while
Yeah.
I'm racing.
Mike,
if you
if
want me to
you're
pass
listening-
this guy,
Every time you pull a tear off, it just sends a
I say, listen,
Tariffs have QR codes.
Yeah, and they
built
just
in.
at
flutter to the
BMD,
ground.
we get Frank Mann to fly over with his plane and,
just
just
drop
drop QR
thousands
codes
of QR codes.
like they used to drop on
No.
Vietnam.
And have those like when you're at the beach, those
Yes,
little,
he's dragging a big banner.
Yes.
This
because
says
you know,
donate.
phones will reach that for sure.
donate to
Good
He
Team
dropped, I'm
gosh.
telling you, drop the leaflets like they did in Vietnam.
Why are we so smart?
Well,
We're gonna have this.
actually, Frank came by today, the shop,
This
right?
should be making money for us
and
over.
he already said he'd do it, but
To fly over via
and drop QR
motocross
codes.
to
Yeah,
nations.
that's right.
Frank, thanks a lot for that.
See, we thought you were piggybacking off our idea, and
That's right.
She's one step
three
ahead,
steps
bro.
ahead, man.
I know.
And hey, that is always the claim to fame with y'all. Is you're always ahead of what the previous generation kind of was, and it's amazing, and we can feel it. We can feel the
Well,
difference.
To be able like to have Mike listen and agree and come together as a team to make that decision and work with the team managers, all this thing, it's like there's so many inner loops that we're just not doing it and making our decision. Like we're coming together and like this is our suggestion, what do you guys think, and for the most part I think it's been
But you're talking about it. I bet you there was years where they didn't talk at all.
No,
The
that's a
bikes
big
will be
part.
at this truck and go over
Yeah.
there, and we'll see at the starting line.
I think what she is doing the most is just filling the gap that just wasn't there. These people, they just weren't coming together, and they needed a good lubricant to come together.
Yeah.
And and that's how
Don't
the
do it,
magic's
Nick.
made.
I promise I'm trying.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Nick just
I
covered his
swear to God,
mouth.
I'm trying.
As soon as you said that, I'm like,
If you
Turn
say
my mic off.
lubricant, he has to say words. He
And,
can't.
we earned our stripes. We earned the respect from a lot of the teams from our 10 years of
Yeah.
what we accomplished. And so we don't know everything they know, but we learned a lot in our 10 years.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And you've actually used it
we did
because everybody knows what's needed. No one just takes the steps, and
right. And honestly, and
you're right.
this has
on
been
back.
something
be
that
good?
That's what she said.
he wanted to say that when he
So bad.
said
I'll tell you about it.
lubricant.
yeah. But Roger's been involved for so long, right? And he knows this race better than anybody.
And he's won it a lot of times himself.
What's the plan when he dies at one of these things? What are we doing with him?
He's not going to.
We're
During
going to
the-
sprinkle him out
at
the
the
right. No, I'm
race.
saying we burn him up right there and sprinkle him over everybody's.
This isn't Barry Higgins.
He's
No, we're
same
doing- we're gonna
age.
have
Just
like
because
a-
Barry's wishes are for that to happen doesn't mean this is what Roger
We're gonna
would.
do DeCosta. He's gonna have like a Jedi funeral right there, where they just put him on the Ewoks dance and burn him at the thing.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't
think so?
even want to. I'm scared to joke
I'm
No.
kidding.
because
We're
the
just
laser
kidding.
beam. I saw the red light from the
I
Yeah.
know you're gonna get picked off.
They're in the pool.
the lasers. They're in the pool.
the
We're
seals
flying
are-
Barry
Those seals-
off. Barry's gonna just fly. Like Roger's gonna be like Barry. He's not gonna die and just fall
He'll
over.
just float off into heaven. and
yeah,
that's
he's
it.
just gonna.
He's going to be like
ascend.
Obi-Wan. He's just going to fall.
Yeah.
in the
Yes, he's
pile
just
of
gonna
clothes.
ascend.
No,
Correct.
we always said Barry. The day Barry dies, Barry Higgins, he goes out for practice, and there's fog a little bit of fog on the track, and
Golden Roost coming from the tire. You're like, what's
it's
that?
like,
That's
why
weird.
does golden dirt roost up from his tires? And then he
weird.
jumps this double, and he just
Ginormous double, and he never
just
stops
keeps
going.
going up.
Ascending
And the
into
clouds kind
heaven.
of part, and it's like,
It sounds like the ending of
Spirit
Grease.
air.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
like the ending of Grease.
See, I threw my movie.
Yeah,
Perfect.
But
Grease
you know,
is the word. He just flies off.
but I think, having Roger really kind of let us do our thing too.
Yeah.
which
And-
is the sign of a good leader. When they see somebody and they know they've got the skill to, sometimes Roger delivered America the most successful run that's ever been given to the Motocross of Nations. And for him to acquiesce, I'm going to use some big
Whoa.
words because I'm an 85 skill
What?
spelling bee champ. For him to get out of the way just
get
a
a shot
little
for that.
when he sees that, hey man, they got some good ideas. That is a sign. That is a champion right there.
But also, when we won at Redbud, first thing that he said when a post-race interview was like, "No one works harder than Christina." And for,
We know that.
for Roger DeCoster to say
Wow.
that,
That's huge.
like,
That's
hey,
awesome.
You didn't grow up riding motorcycles, though, right?
No.
Because see, me and Nick, Kevin, could you imagine if Roger DeCoster threw a compliment?
No
at
one
us?
would. No, hell no. No, get
But
out
what
of
if
the
he
way.
did? And
I made a
here's
joke, and
Christina.
I'm just like, now after that joke, I'm just sitting around worried about getting my ass whooped.
Yeah,
Next
by
time I see
Roger
her.
DeCoster. He'll
See,
kill
I
us.
was scared. I saw laser beams go through the room, so I thought, oh, they're zeroing in. But I said you didn't grow up riding motorcycles because this is so much work. And I mean, I'm super passionate about the sport on levels that I don't ever think anyone can match, right? I think I'm the most passionate. I'm not really, but I can see you have that exact same thing. Both of you do, really.
well, I think we
To be
feed
looking
off
for
each other.
every advantage and every little weird thing. Let's uncover that stone too. Is
But that's how we made the team work for 10 years. It wasn't me. It wasn't him. It was together.
just together.
And I've never claimed to be a motocross riding expert ever. I mean, why would I?
Me either.
And that's the same with me. I mean, that's why we discovered this video system that we do, because I'm sitting there looking at these guys and I don't tell them.
Plastinger,
Go
you need to
fast. Come on, man.
shift
Get your
up,
elbows
son.
up, brother.
Squeeze the bike with your knees.
So I broke it down technically. Okay, here's technically what you can do. And, when you present it that way,
Yeah, you're
it
not trying to
becomes
say I'm a
fact.
professional.
It
You're
becomes
trying to say,
fact.
here's something I saw.
Hey,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
2/10 faster to do it this
And
way.
the
It's
crazy,
evidence.
The crazy thing with
Yeah.
with Tomac's fastest lap on qualifying, he was on the board, he was top, and then Hurling's one of his laps, he snuck in and beat him by a few tenths. So I grabbed both those laps, put them together, and Tomac was ahead all the way around, and it was up on the one corners around the monster. And all Tomac did was just make a silly mistake and just dab his foot, which he's never done all day right there. He just made a goofy little step. And that was the 2/10, and he's like, "Oh, we got that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
he
saw-
didn't outride me.
He saw
Yeah.
what he
He
did.
didn't
He
outride
saw
him.
he was ahead the whole track, and he put his foot in. And he goes, "Oh, I got that." Oh, nothing. I
Had he
got
not
him
seen
now.
that, he would have been just like, this
Yeah,
guy's better
I got
than
him
him.
now.
Yeah.
And it's like
It's confidence.
it's these little things that
That does add up,
that you
right?
can
To
grab. And again,
confidence.
you can tell them no, but when you can show them, you
love
can
that.
show them against the other best guy. You're like, I got it.
But
There
Chris-
was a section on that track, and everybody else, not everybody, but most of the guys figured it out, like the fast guys figured out. In that top section right before the rut, downhill
that
rutting
big
turn,
nasty rut.
man, AP was going. There was like one race or whatever, he was going through there.
Oh, he would knock
Yes, the
30, 40
qualifier.
feet out of the dude in front of him.
Everybody, every time. That was so
Oh, no,
awesome.
it was that single jump across the vendors up there at the
Yeah,
top.
yeah, yeah. You go
And he would
across-
launch like 40, 60 feet past everybody
Yes.
else.
Everybody figured it out sooner or later, but man, before they did, he was just like making time.
But Chris, you did race some moto.
Yep.
And you probably loved it, right? I mean, you still ride mountain bikes and you'd probably ride motorcycles if you wanted to or whatever. But like for you, and you see the amount of work going in, I mean, does it feel like work? Mike sat there and said, I don't feel like I'm ever clocking in. Y'all feel like that? Do you feel like it's more passion?
No, I mean, it is still a passion. I mean, I enjoy it. You do. When you work as hard on something you love, it's not work.
Yeah.
well,
we
and,
get
and you
tired.
guys are working to
Everybody
make
gets
those
to get
riders
tired and you get worn
successful.
out.
Yeah.
But it's still not work.
So you're watching, and if they're giving 100%, you probably feel like everything that even not, the results are one thing, but if they're giving 100%, then it makes probably feels worthwhile what you're doing.
Well, And to that point, when Alex Martin came on our team, it was 2013 when
This is Rock River Yamaha.
Rock River. We're 3 years in.
Yep.
I'm not getting
God,
paid.
we didn't even talk about that.
I'm not getting paid. Chris certainly isn't getting paid. And, like, what are we doing? Like, really, in 3 years, we saw some progression, but it was still very, very low budget.
And again, we were getting the Rock River amateurs that jumped up. So
Yeah.
we're dealing with kids.
Yeah.
I mean, we're dealing with kids.
And we signed up for
that
it.
barely can get around the supercross track.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do we
See
do?
practice,
Yeah.
and
What are we
Mike's
doing
and
here?
Duclos set up this for that, and we came on, we agreed to it. So Alex Martin, Yamaha gives me a call and says, "Hey, we got this Alex Martin from this other team. They're just having a hard time."
11, 10 mods probably.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but yeah,
that's just where he came from.
that's where it came from.
Yeah.
And I remember at High Point, his motor blew up for like the 10th time that year already, pushing his bike over. We don't know much about Alex at all. And we had, nothing yet to give him. And so Yamaha helped out a little bit more even at that time. And
This
but-
was mid-outdoors.
mid-outdoors, taking somebody in and not even knowing, but just his determination and his will, I think it just spiked a fire between us and really saw like, okay, we have a rider that's capable of doing more than what he's doing with the right equipment.
That has desire.
Yeah.
And is a true aspiring professional, just like we run our business. You want to do everything you can. A-Mart.
That was him.
A-Mart was it.
That, if honestly, I think if it wasn't for that, I don't know that we would have gone the 10 years.
That's incredible.
And one of the
I mean,
biggest
that's a
things,
statement.
one of the biggest things I'll never forget, we've got a big photo of it, is it was that half year that he started with us, he was on the carbureted 250s.
Yeah, YZ250F.
And he whole shot Colorado elevation.
Yeah.
So I've got him coming around the first turn in first with 3 pro circuit guys right behind.
Yeah,
Like that ain't supposed to happen.
quite the statement right
that
there.
ain't supposed to happen.
No.
So, and it was the whole next year, starting early 2014 when Cycle Trader contacted us. And it was between us and 2 other factory teams. And, we did everything that we know how to do presentation wise, show them who we really are. It was no smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
And it was November of 14 when they came on ready for Anaheim. Or it was actually the end of 13.
Yeah.
Ready for Anaheim January, so we had 6 weeks to
Let's
literally
wrap
flip
this
it
semi.
around.
Let's.
Yeah.
I remember some talk about that.
Yeah.
It's always a last minute game, right? I mean, that's not much time to line up an effort to go at AMA Supercross.
No.
But
A lot of that has to do with corporate budgets. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
ended
They had to wait
October,
till their
November.
budget
Yeah.
meetings
Yeah.
and budget this and planning for the next season.
I remember I was at Monster Cup and they had arranged a meeting. They wanted me to get on a call. It was 7 a.m. in Florida and 4 a.m. in
Right.
Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll get on a call. They had no idea where I was. And he's sleeping. I'm in the bathroom just as quiet as could be.
you got a blanket over your head to try to muffle it.
Yeah. Negotiating and getting the call because it was a couple of weeks, actually more like 6 weeks. We hadn't heard anything. And of course, get on the call and they said, we're in. And it was just like, okay, now what?
That got very real, very fast.
The first thing we did though was call Yamaha and get Alex Martin and motor.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, mind you, no salaries for us. No, we had no staff other than the driver.
Yeah.
And we said, what are we going to do? And what's going to really make this team thrive? And, calling them and having them turn around and do it that fast and wanting us to succeed.
Was that the year, Jay, was it, did A-Mart, he went to the Motocross to Nations one year.
16.
Okay.
He was on Star.
Did Jeremy go on a Yamaha during your early Rock River days?
He
Broke
went.
a foot or broke a toe or something in
So
practice?
he
Was
went
it the next year?
I don't think it was 17. I feel like it was earlier.
No, it was earlier.
Side note,
I think he went
does-
15 to Ernay.
Does anybody know if Jeremy Martin's Instagram got hacked or something?
That's another name. It's not him.
Yeah,
I saw that too.
they like the picture.
Jeremy Martin's something.
but they try to act just like Jerry. They
It might be
like
Jeremy Martin's.
they like the
6.
same Instagram picture that we have with the where we're
Yeah.
something.
I saw that.
All the OnlyFans people like trying to get you to follow.
It's
them.
fake. Yes.
Yeah, yes, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always know it's fake when they like that pitch for whatever reason. That picture on our Instagram.
I know.
It's
It's
the picture of
the two
your leg with
Jeeps.
the 2 Jeeps. Yes.
Motorcycles in the back. Yeah,
Yep.
it makes no sense. I don't. That's a hacker's dream somehow.
I don't know.
But
you say
you're talking
hookers?
about Amart.
I think it's hookers, not hackers.
It's just something
It's
hookers
a
like.
dream. That's who likes that picture. Is all the
Internet hookers.
Only fan hookers. Yes.
Yes. But so Amart, there's no doubt that the previous team could make speed. Those motors, they may have had issues, but they could get him to the front. And I find it interesting that you're like, well, the first thing we did was call Yamaha. We got to have a good motor. Like, I don't know. It just seems like it seems obvious, but you didn't grow up riding moto. Like, who made did you say this? Did you say, who said we got to get Amart a good motor?
We said we got to hire a crew chief, so I called Scott Raybon.
Yeah.
Like, we knew that's the first thing we needed.
I just find
we-
it
we
interesting
need-
that y'all know so much.
Well, it's like in your business.
This is early.
You got to find an expert. What you don't know.
Okay,
We're
there you
not-
go.
Hire somebody
Yeah.
that's your expert in this
Again,
part
a
of the
good
field.
leader is always willing to get out of the way of somebody that's an expert. And if they're not the best, it's fine.
So
I'll employ you
we
to be the
knew
best.
that we were never going to catch up with bikes and motors and even suspension. No, we could manage everything else, but we needed an expert to help us with the bikes and be our expert here. And then same with suspension. That's when we got into.
So did
into-
Mike DeClose reaching out to you, or how in the world did you go from, we make some graphics for motorcycles
You tell this story.
to we're like, oh no, we're tapped to run Rock River Yamaha's
Yeah.
professional
this
race
story.
effort?
So early on in the early 2000s, Mike bought Rock River about the same time we were starting, and we rebranded his Rock River brand as
I
a
even
dealership.
find that amazing. He's
Yeah.
a long way away from Georgia.
He was our first dealer. I mean, we met at Loretta's through friends. I wasn't even there, but someone connected us together. I mean, it just
It's
couldn't
meant to
happen.
be.
any better.
You know what
Yeah.
though? You guys are so salt of the earth. I could see that connection. I think y'all just are gonna find each other no matter what.
Yeah.
Mike's a good dude, and you guys are just good salt of the earth.
Yeah, he's
you're
a nice businessman, smart.
You're the
businessman.
Duclos of the South. Like he's just a super guy. I can see that.
So we rebranded. He put graphics on every bike. Talk about guerrilla
Yeah.
marketing. I mean, it really everybody. You go to it doesn't
Every
matter if you're in
amateur national,
California,
right?
Florida, whatever. There's Rock River graphics, and he bought a lot. That last like 2 or 3 years, it was just constant. So he saw the need. Ben LeMay was the guy that was going from amateur to
The
pro.
Alaskan Assassin.
Alaskan
Assassin or something like that. Assassin.
Yes.
Him
sure.
and
Add an
Weston.
H in there, buddy. It's all good.
Him and Weston, they had nowhere to go, and there was no feeder teams. It was factories, and it was
For the road.
early December
One more for the ditch.
2009. He decided to buy a semi in Dallas, and
Those are weird years to. Of course, a lot of the greatest things happen out of a recession.
Yeah.
well,
09 was
and
gnarly.
Mike Duclos knows how to do that.
Yeah.
So he bought this semi and said, hey, can you guys do the graphics? If we're going to put a
This
team
is
together.
what I remember. I remember something about having to wrap this semi.
Wrap the semi, and that was our job.
Yeah, that's a
We-
job.
Well,
dude.
actually, we first said no. We first said, we want to stay in the amateur
Yeah.
field. We don't really, we know
Wow.
pro racing. We're fans, but this is not our element. And he said, Mike, salesman guys, think about it over the weekend.
Yeah, don't
You
tell
know,
me no today. Let's think about
He
it.
didn't. And I think Chris went on a weekend like riding trip somewhere and came back and said, you know what, let's see what this does. This is, if we're going to do it with anybody, we don't want another company to come in and take over what we did for him as an amateur team.
Yeah,
There you
that,
go.
that was the thing. Is the thing about Mike is we gained his trust, and he trusted us with whatever we designed. So we felt like we created a good brand for him, and we didn't want somebody else to kind of just screw it up.
Piggyback
But,
off that. and-
Yeah.
Not necessarily
Yeah.
piggyback, but everybody's got their own ideas of what looks better.
Yeah, and we worked hard for it. So
And he left us in control. Like, okay, let's
That's
give
a
this
good.
shot.
That's somebody you can work with.
Yeah.
If he trusts your judgment,
he did.
go with it.
So semi comes, I think he bought it sight unseen, comes to Georgia. We hadn't even measured it or anything. Like, I think literally like printed, wrapped within a week.
Them trailers is 53 foot. That tractor's got 789,000 miles on that ISX Cummins. I can just tell you that from experience. It was a wore out tractor, right? And then some kind of
But you can rebuild it right there in the frame.
ain't
You
nothing
gotta
to it.
pull
You
up.
in frame it.
So we hired a driver, and the driver showed up at our place
This
to
is
look at it and take over.
like to leave to go to
Oh,
Anaheim.
he wants to inspect and roll.
like
Yes.
it's wrapped, you know. And then this is like a NASCAR trailer too. It's
But for real, was it rough when you did it, or was it a pretty nice truck? And you guys,
Well,
because
we
I know
didn't-
it
we
looked
didn't know
nice.
much about it. I mean, it's not like it was beat up and falling apart. I mean, to us,
For
I mean,
us,
the
it was-
insides,
So
all
it seemed nice.
cabinetry and everything.
Okay.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
so we
Okay.
had-
Just wondering about
Yeah.
the
It didn't
starting
seem out
point.
of
it had a
place, let's say
bathroom.
that.
Let's
There
just
you
say
go.
that. That's,
Hey.
It
and
didn't
some
seem
don't
out of
even.
place.
Yes, and some don't even.
So we get it wrapped. There's not even a roll of toilet paper in this thing. Zero anything in this thing. The driver comes down from I think South Carolina. We have it across the street at our shop.
Yeah.
At that parking lot. He's over there and he walks over to
He
us.
lifts the hood.
This ain't gonna work.
They kind of look around
He said, "This is too big. Well, I can't drive this thing."
What?
and leaves.
Yes, and leaves.
Say it, Nick. Say
And
it.
he's supposed to leave today to go to Anaheim.
Yeah, and we're
And there's nothing in the cabinets. They're all empty.
Yeah.
nothing,
Okay.
nothing.
Time is ticking.
And so I think honestly that's when truly like it got our wheels spinning. And you know, when I called, it was like I'm like, well, when are you going to go out there to Anaheim? He's
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to Anaheim. Can you go in Anaheim? I mean, we're talking
wow.
like the week before Christmas.
So 2 weeks.
So we
Three,
through
maybe.
one of our employees, his dad was in the trucking business. He knew somebody that was available to
And
get
had,
it from
had
A to B.
48 hours to spare to
When-
drive it.
didn't Chris LeMaster drive that for you, or Joey Ledoux, or somebody like that?
Not Joey.
That's
Joey's-
Chris Ledoux.
Chris Ledoux.
And he was saying Cadillac Ranch and he had a couple other songs. He's a West Texas boy from Amarillo.
Anyway,
Joey Ledoux has been a helper for us
Yeah.
Okay.
for a long time. But, you know, it was a matter of like, I don't even know that we had Christmas that year. It was just like, how are we going to get this? It fell into our hands we could have just been like, it's not our problem,
Yeah.
but we didn't. And I go out to Anaheim. Like, I would like
I'm running a
fish
truck
out of
now.
water.
Your daughter's 13 or 14 during
She's
this
10.
time. She's 10. Okay. So she's a
Just a
kid.
very
She's
important
10.
You just
Christmas.
said we don't do
Yeah.
Christmas because she's 10.
No,
right?
we had
We had Christmas.
Yeah, but it was different.
But
it was
it was-
goofed
it
up.
was
yeah, open
different.
your present. Hurry up.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
All right, gotta go.
You got
Yeah.
a new
So I show
Folk
up.
ring.
752 for Christmas. Woo.
For the team.
There's a cantilever. Oh, what is this? Cantilever.
It wasn't even
Cantilever?
a full
Cantilever
canopy. It's almost
awning.
like
Awning,
the
yeah.
display awnings. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
Not the true
not
awning.
the true awning.
With a big separate frame. And
So this
you
guy,
leave in
you
a
know,
field to get
he
run
has
over
the
by
whole
a
truck
push on.
blueprinted out in his software, and you know, we literally just days to spare with like table covers, and we made our own kind of barriers, and I mean, it's.
I
To
find it
look
amazing you had
back-
the vision to even know you needed that.
I don't even know how. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's hard to think back.
So I go to Anaheim 1. I'm like, okay, I need to go to another couple races to make sure this thing gets going. And Weston's riding. His dad is his mechanic. We have a driver, and
So you
that's it.
sent the truck, you flew in. Okay. I'm picking
Yeah.
it up now.
I think it was the second race, Anaheim 2. That's when it was back to back.
Yeah.
I met Keith McCarty, and he's like, "Who are you, and what are you doing here?" And I was like, told him this is what I'm doing, and so I show up to round 3, round 4, and they're like, that's when Yamaha stepped in and said, "All right, let's see how we can help you."
I'll bet that doesn't happen much often.
It doesn't.
Like that.
It doesn't.
That sounds like a dream, like you ordered it. I'm going to go to 4 races and Yamaha's going to offer their assistance.
And it's, I mean, there's no, you know, monetary, there's no parts, there's nothing. It's just like, okay, it's our brand. We
Yeah.
want to see you succeed. And Mike is #1 Yamaha dealer in
Yeah.
the country, right?
Right.
So we worked through it, and I think it was Atlanta. Maybe it was even the next year. We had an engine failure, and we didn't have a spare motor on the on the truck. And I call Keith. He's upstairs. Comes down, walking. Everybody in the pits. No, everybody had back. No, we don't have another. We don't have another. And he said, "This is never going to happen again." The next weekend was Toronto Supercross. Before that truck left, I had 2 pallets with full-on, you know, engines for 250, 450, parts.
There you go.
You know,
See, if y'all would do that for XR250 engines, I wouldn't
Dude.
hate you so much.
Right. Just have a pallet of
Just
fresh.
a pallet of XR250.
No, you just obviously to earn their respect, and they saw the potential for
they,
sure.
I think they saw the work, and and honestly, there was not another OEM really at the time doing what we were doing as far as feeding these amateurs to the pros.
Right.
We weren't competition by any means, but
But
it
you were a
was-
stepping stone to
it
that
was-
Mike could showcase these boys and get them on the factory team, right?
So once we got these parts, and they saw an opportunity to help other Yamaha riders in the paddock that were in the back of their trucks, their vans at the time. So it turned into like, hey, we're going to help you with your team,
And you deal with all those guys.
basically. But
Yeah.
the savings and the availability to open a drawer and there's clutches and chains and anything that you need for that bike. And talk about logistics, keeping up with.
Oh, you
manual-
robbed 2 8mm bolts. So I got to make sure I put 2 8mm
Yeah,
bolts.
every weekend I had to report what we sold, send the money in. But these privateers guys that, don't have extra clutch levers or radiators or whatever,
Yeah.
they knew to come on Friday and
Our Fridays was set up.
It was hardcore.
Parts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Parts and fuel.
Parts and we sold fuel. That was actually like a little side gig that we had because, we bought the fuel
Covered some
Yeah.
expenses here.
because we weren't, we weren't making money.
Yes.
and
And that's another thing. You're not making money. So that means you're spending money.
we're spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, but it paid off, and to see the guys, the riders that we brought through the
They're
system.
your family.
And then
Yeah.
earn
Forever.
the Cycle Trader sponsorship, and then we really could do all the things we dreamed that can we ever do this? And that
And
was
you
huge.
actually did it.
That was huge for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And then we got podiums, and that was just amazing.
Well, and there was no better initial talent than Amart. I mean, Alex Martin is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a great scoop up.
Yeah,
And they
for
even
sure.
backed it up with Colt.
Yeah, Colt Nichols.
Right on strong.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah.
I think obviously I learned a lot about racing, and I learned a lot to, rely on him to be my expert when it comes to track stuff. But I had the respect from the riders, and because I never would be like, okay, you need to go do this. And,
Yeah.
it wasn't until years later when we had that data to show them, and, I knew they all knew what we put in it. And so, it in 2019, and when we decided that, it was 10 years in, and we're obviously, I think we were kind of not done, like we're over it, but it was like, it's time to focus back on us and our business. And, our daughter at that time, she was 19.
Yeah.
And so little did we know that COVID was around the corner. And, I told Mike at Supercross that we would finish the year, and, it was very respected, and we had a good outdoor season. And we walked away like our heads high in the sense of like we accomplished something.
Yeah.
And obviously we hoped it would continue, and there's still an effort, but it's much different and from what it is. But it's good to know that we were able to start something and see it out for that long.
It was respected.
Yeah.
Everyone spoke of it highly. So mission accomplished, and I think.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
the last 2 years was the Heart Raft years, and he's a
Yeah,
great
Brandon
guy.
Hartrife.
And he was
Yeah.
in the hunt.
Amazing dude, going
And-
fast.
and
yeah.
that's-
yeah.
You do all this work, and it's quite a feeling when you're in the hunt on race
Yeah.
day. It's pretty
Yeah.
special.
So I could keep y'all here forever, but can we we mentioned the global position. Can we speak about that a little bit? I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like it's incredibly
Worldwide, wide.
prestigious,
Prestige worldwide.
prestige worldwide. I just when you kind of mentioned
an
that
Eiffel
that's
Tower
what
position.
you were going to be in charge of, it was like that's amazing. So describe what your next step is.
So there's actually two things. I'm not sure if you're talking about going to
I
Australia.
don't really know what you're talking about. To be
I
honest
think
with you.
so.
Okay. So the first thing would be that I'm putting a team together of women.
Yes, this is what
Okay.
I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
Nick's
So-
the first one.
Nick's the first girl.
Really
Fired
excited.
up.
Yeah.
We're putting it's a 5-rider team, and it's a women's motocross cup in Australia in the middle of March, and it's something that really for me it's become a more of a passion project just to get these women from the U.S. exposure in the global the global in riders, but there's a race that is, they're still working on the actually fundamentals of like how many countries are going to be involved and what kind of entries and all that. So there's still a lot more to it, even though it's around the corner, but it's the second year that the FIM Oceania, the Motocross Australia team, they're putting together, and the goal would be to have this come and maybe go around to different countries and bring just more awareness to women's motocross and
Is it mandatory that we attend the first one? We've never been to Australia, so
absolutely. Well, I thought you already got.
Here we go. It's gonna conflict with Day in the Dirt. It's probably, you said it's in March.
March 22nd.
Oh, it's after Day in the Dirt.
after Day in
Could
the
we
Dirt.
leave straight from Daytona?
You're already south, so keep on
how
trucking.
far is the drive from
almost
Dade
there.
Sounds
City?
so simple.
Almost there.
How far is the drive to Australia?
Yeah, from Dade City. It can't be that bad.
Yeah, it can't be bad.
When you
We're
got the
already
different hemisphere, you got to
7
deal
hours
with
from
it.
home.
So
But-
this is first of many more, hopefully more opportunities, but this has also led me to be more involved with the WMX racing here in the U.S.
Nice.
And last year, MX Sports had 8 rounds that they worked together and put together, and I was at Ironman, and that was the only one that I was at, and to see these full gates with these racers, there was
Pretty sweet.
over the 8 series, I think there was 95 entries, for women, and
Unique.
I think this era, and it's deep, and there are a lot of 85 riders that are coming up, and the amount of girls that are involved, and obviously it's not the era of Jessica Patterson and Ashley and those women, but I think
But it might be Kylie Stallings' era.
Lala Turner,
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
some
there's
bad
some
little girls out there.
fast girls.
There's some
they
fast
can roll.
girls.
Kylie Stallings, or
That's
Yeah.
what I said. Yeah, Kylie.
Kylie, yeah, and
She goes
so
fast.
they go fast, and I think to have an opportunity to showcase them on the international is my goal for them to go to Australia.
Okay.
It's obviously Team USA. It's going to be.
This sounds like the women's motocross of nations.
It's not really, because it is a one-off event. It's women's motocross.
So different
Cup.
than the.
It's different.
Motocross to Nations.
Yeah, because there's not the amount of.
don't argue with her. She would know.
I'm not. I'm just trying to.
She's
Yeah.
doing it.
I know.
Yeah, it's definitely like the hopes of it. Obviously, is to become
Why not?
something, and maybe that is something in the future.
Is that an FIM position for you? Like, what is that?
So?
Who's
My role is AMA.
Okay.
It's team manager. It's an AMA team.
Okay.
Managing the team. Of course, I got my data guy, my backup, my everything. He's going, and I think we have a really good 5-rider team that's gonna be. We'll give them
Different
competition.
classes, or are they all? Is it
It's
one
a
class?
one-up. It's an open class.
Okay.
It'll be 2 motos, 20 plus 1, 20 plus 2. These are the details that they're working out.
Mm-hmm.
But
this is standard motocross? We figured out at the last minute and run it, right? I mean,
yeah.
you've done enough years of this.
But also, what's awesome about it is, having the support of the OEMs in Australia to help, provide bikes and
Nice.
all the logistics of that. That seems like the easy part now. It's just
That seems like the hardest.
we haven't, and the fundraising, and this is where I definitely could use help. And this is something that would be awesome to kind of spearhead pretty quick, is to, get some fundraising efforts out there sooner than later, so we could possibly get a little support, because this is a rider funded event.
100%.
AMA we don't have a budget for it. And to go to Australia, it's not cheap.
2 QR codes at Mid Ohio.
It's too late. This thing's happening.
We can't
in
help
March.
it in March, but we could be there for 26.
But
Kevin.
we got to start now. We can start with our show. So whenever you guys figure out what you want to do, let us. Like, we can get Wygan on board. He's an idiot. He'll talk about anything.
He's an idiot. I mean, that's what we're looking for, guys.
Yes, for
More idiots. The
We can
better.
get you all the idiots you want.
He's got a daughter, though. He'll champion it. I have no doubt he would.
Yeah.
Wouldn't help.
So this really aligns with, I have a new role with the FIM.
Okay.
So
So I wasn't dreaming when I
you
said
weren't
that.
dreaming. So I am the AMA representative from the FIM Women's Committee.
There you go.
That's the global aspect.
Worldwide.
World prestige worldwide. No one that drives down Bells Ferry Road is aware that there are some motocross legends right there on the side of the road. They're not aware. I promise you. It's like you guys are creating a crazy good legacy, and it'll probably take until you're
71.
old and decrepit.
Couple
And
years.
Kevin's
Just a
talking
couple
about
years.
burning you at a race, and
Look, if I'm talking about you getting burned at a race, you've done good.
yes, because he's going to
I'm
dump
waiting
you out
for
of
the
Frank
day.
Mann's
Yes.
airplane.
Yep.
Just
Yes.
think of how he sprinkles y'all out of
When
an
you go
airplane.
out that plane, you're looking at me like, no, I don't want it. And then you're just getting pushed
You're
out.
like, man, this is
It's for the
awesome.
best, Christina.
I'm still feeling pretty. I feel pretty good.
What are you doing?
But I mean, for real, I'm in awe. It's a pleasure to know both of you, and I know we can't see the pull that you put in during the week, but I know it's heavy because y'all are accomplishing some major stuff, and we can feel the tides turning on the Motocross of Nations front, and obviously we'll feel it on the women's front soon. That's
I
pretty
hope so.
cool.
Thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
if you got John behind you, it's going to happen.
Dude, I mean, exactly. We're already creating 2 QR codes.
It's getting crazy over here.
I mean, we're just working our tails off over
We could
here.
have John more excited if we talked about 86 Kawasaki.
Watch
Yeah,
out now.
don't go crazy
move it
now. I'll
now.
probably pass out or something. I'll have a major like trauma moment. So, yeah, I could keep y'all on here forever. I really could. I ain't even. We haven't covered anything of your careers, but we hit some high spots, right? I mean, that's a good start. And y'all live so far away for you to have traveled. I mean, what is this? Just 30 minutes?
Probably tops one. Yeah.
30 minutes.
Yeah, you should
Nice.
pop in a little more often. This is an easy ride.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got
We-
nothing going on.
We would love to. And
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's obviously, I mean, the history that we have with Kevin and
All getting your white jeans dirty. And
getting my white jeans, my
I mean, the man
Reeboks.
lost a lung at my damn track. dude.
Chris
Building
had
pit
a
bike tracks.
had a
Yeah.
lung.
Well, yeah,
Still owe
deflation.
him one lung.
Yeah, put that on the list, Kevin. Things you owe people.
Oh, me.
you owe me a line. I mean, if it wasn't for Kevin, maybe we wouldn't be married.
Wow.
So, think about that.
Yeah, when's my show, asshole?
Exactly. When can we focus on Kevin and his role in the success of global women's motocross and the motocross?
Yes.
Because
Thank you.
truthfully,
I mean, it all
You-
comes back
it-
to
you
the
caused
6 degrees
all-
of Kevin Bacon / Kelly.
Kevin/Kelly's bacon.
Yeah.
This whole world would be nothing left if it
Duh.
wasn't for Kevin.
Yeah,
Exactly. Thank you, Nick. I mean, because that needed to be stated.
Yeah. That's a whole.
Feels good getting that out. You know?
Yeah.
Just knowing.
Just like to let everybody know that I know Kevin,
Yeah, there you
and
go.
I let everybody know that he's not very funny.
Oh,
Anytime
he's
you can.
really
That's
not funny at all. Not funny.
I forgot I did that again recently.
Good. You should.
To let people know.
They're like, "Oh yeah, Kevin, he's funny, man. That dude's,
Nick goes,
he's not that funny."
that's funny to me.
That's the funniest part of it. I'm like, he's not.
Whatever.
If
You say so.
you get to know him, he's really not that funny. And they're like, no, he's. And I'm like,
I think you should hang around him more.
I play it to the T too. I never back off of
He
it.
just leaves. That guy, man, he thinks
That dude hates Kevin. He hates him. I know he hates him. All right.
I stay in character.
There
for
it
that
is. This
whole
has
thing.
to be one of the longer shows, and it was not a waste of time. We didn't even look-
2:28. 2 hours.
We didn't
28
even look
minutes.
at the clock.
Nope.
I thought we had 3 more hours.
We can do it.
do.
I
We got half
can
a bottle of
bother y'all
Fireball
for
left.
that long. I can ask a million more
got
questions.
more
I'm nowhere
Fireball.
near done.
Well, let's just say we'll
This
have
is
a
like an
part,
hour
Part
glass.
two.
Part two.
part 2.
Thank you.
This bottle of Fireball
I'll
is like
bring
an
I'll
hour
bring the
glass.
fireball next time.
That's how we keep time.
That's
Yes.
just like one of those sand. You
how we-
turn the sand
Go to the
over.
mid,
yeah, we know.
We're halfway.
mid devil.
So that is part
We
one.
mark it with time.
Mid devil. Dude,
Nobody
we
threw up.
need a fireball
Nobody
bottle
threw
with a
up.
new sticker that has times on it
Yes.
all the way through.
I know somebody makes stickers.
Dang.
Oh, you
boy.
do.
Fresh
Crazy.
decal.
We need our fireball jugs labeled.
With
Well,
timers.
Christina, thank you guys for being on. Thanks to
was
you to making
awesome.
Mike Pelletier happen because it was never going to happen with me.
He hates you.
He hates me.
But he loves Christina.
He does.
And so thankfully she had
Yep.
enough pull where you didn't.
And we're
100%.
so
He'll
excited.
pay for that at Mid Ohio.
Oh, he's
Nick
done.
almost dropped him to the gravel
Rub his head
in
down.
England.
I shot.
He's hitting the dirt at Mid-Ohio.
Kind of shot a double leg, but then I turned into a single and just picked him up.
Good, good. Had him off
And
balance.
so
I have a picture of that.
I could have dumped
Yeah.
him on his head.
All right. You want to hit that gong? Let's call it. Where's your stick?
I dropped it. You heard it drop.
I did.
You can't kick it. Oh God, you're gonna take the running brand trophy. Now he's got a broke knuckle.
Love y'all. Yes, yes.
So you
No, we got.
Oh shit. No. We got Ricochet over here.
Check it 1, 2.
No.
Wait, let's test for real. I'm not. What? My mic ain't working.
He watches one YouTube video and he.
He's a master mixologist.
All right, hold on.
Why you got a harpoon in? They
Who's
should
playing
be
bass?
musicians.
I'm gonna mount a set of handlebars on this bar right here.
You
All
gotta
right, here we go. Next, say your stupid thing, whatever stupid thing you were about to say.
I was just trying to talk and you kept cutting me off. Even
I was not. I just.
Listen,
He thinks he's better than everybody.
John
See?
and I are here having a good
I
time,
got all the power. I can just do this anytime.
and you just over there controlling everything.
I can't hear you, John.
I know.
Well, why not?
Hey, maybe
I
Kevin's
said
got
it
his,
before you started and you didn't care.
maybe Kevin's got his feet on the cord again. We had 2 weeks
Stay the
of
course. Stay the
technical
course.
difficulties,
What's the button?
and we figured it out
Stir the
because
ship.
Kevin was kicking the cord out of the.
Follow, trace your cord all the way back here. There's nothing I can do.
Tracing.
Unplug it. Plug it
There's
back
some
in.
blurry tracing.
Classic move here.
Yep. If you're not going to contribute anything
Let's
over
start
there,
over.
No.
Let's quit.
Wesley, make this funny.
look, I'm over here working my ass off, and you guys are doing nothing.
You gotta check the flex capacitor.
Oh, there
That's
you go.
what it is.
We're doing a hard
We didn't
reset.
put
We're doing a hard
juice. We
reset.
forgot to put juice in the flex.
Does it have gas in it? What's this cord do?
That's just
That's just an adapter.
for
or
my
something.
But what's it go to?
for my phone.
Oh, is
not-
it this?
No, they're all. That's mute.
The keyboard needs a shot of Red Bull. I mean, I'm fireman.
Oh, it might need some fireball.
What's going on here? Look at number 3. It's got
Hello.
look, John. Look right here. Microphone. What is that?
Oh yeah.
See that? See the Wi-Fi thing? Let's go.
You crank that soldier boy.
I don't think your headphones are plugged in.
Really?
Yeah. Wesley got
So
all
we'll get
that.
a new
Should we just stop it and just?
separate file. That's probably a good idea. And that way, Wesley. Thank you better than everybody.
No, it works out like that because we'll just
No.
Then
perpetuate
it'll
this,
build.
this hate from my.
And it will be answered for in Mid-Ohio. All right, we're recording.
Okay, let's do our opening song.
How's
Do I get to hit the dog again?